Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Cincinnati Reds are off to their best start in 20 years. Rookie infielder Sal Stewart scored twice for the Redlegs last night as they beat the Rays 6-1 in Tampa. Fourth straight win for the Reds, who are tops in the NL Central at 15-8. Cincinnati and Tampa are back at it tonight at 6:40. You can hear that game on the Fan following the Buckeye show. As for the Guardians, Cleveland dropped the first of a three-game set with the Astros 9-2 Monday at Progressive Field. Across the street at Rocket Arena, the Cavs beat the Raptors 115-105 in Game 2 of their first-round playoff series. Cleveland's going to take their 2-0 series lead to Toronto for Game 3 Thursday. In other NBA news, Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama became the youngest and only unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. The 22-year-old Wembanyama was given the honor one day after his 35-point performance gave San Antonio a 1-0 series lead on the Blazers. This update is sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Locally inspired dishes and award-winning cocktails. Visit highbankco.com to make your reservation. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Tom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Brian Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Bo, the boys with you for the next three. We get the real truth coming up at 10 o'clock, a little bit at 10:30. The trial of Tiberi. Boy, there's a lot happening there with what has really been said, what hasn't. Is he insinuating quarterback controversies at Ohio State? Who knows? We will put him on trial at 10:30, and we'll get to the truth of it, and we'll see if he can handle it. At 11 o'clock, the Browns draft plan. What exactly is it, and are they kind of the catalyst of all this thing by the time we get going on Thursday? Is that the first pick that you're really paying attention to? And speaking of the draft, it is draft week. Probably the most invested I've been in the NFL draft for a Buckeye player was 2021. That's the Justin Fields draft. Threes and I were doing the show at that time, and the belief that I had in Justin Fields was pretty immense. Pretty immense. And you were coming out of a stretch in the National Football League where you had, for the first time really ever, a true allowance, I suppose, by the NFL to let quarterbacks be playmakers. Just go be a playmaker. You had Lamar had already won an MVP at that point. Deshaun Watson was doing incredible things down in Houston. There were others, but it was, man, just go. Let's build something around these guys. Put them in a position to succeed. And what I saw with Justin Fields his 2 years when he was here was a guy who, for every single thing that I saw in the 2 years he was at Ohio State, there was no reason that if he got in the right spot in the National Football League that he would not be a dynamic NFL quarterback, a Pro Bowl level NFL quarterback. I thought he had the talent to be an MVP level NFL quarterback, but it came down to the spot. And it was the most invested that I've been in the draft from a Buckeye perspective. I want you guys to think about that. From a Buckeye player perspective, whether it's a player you became connected to, a player that you just liked, one that you truly believed in, and you just wanted to make sure he landed in the right spot. The most invested you've been from a Buckeye player perspective in this draft, because for me it was Justin Fields in 2021. And when the San Francisco 49ers made the move up to number 3 in that draft, and it was known that Trevor Lawrence was going 1, that's a no-brainer. Zach Wilson was going number 2. That one became abundantly clear as we got closer and closer to the draft. There was really only one bit of drama, and that was the Niners coming up to 3. And I just couldn't believe that the guy that they were going to pick at 3 was Mac Jones. Just didn't seem like what you'd try to do with the 49ers. Because remember, the reason that the Niners moved up in that draft is, I suppose, similar to what the Los Angeles Rams thought with Jared Goff when they jettisoned him to Detroit and ended up with Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay said, I can't win a Super Bowl with this guy. I can get there with this guy, but I can't win it with this guy. There are throws he cannot make that I need to be able to make in order to win the Super Bowl. So the Rams execute that deal. They acquire Matthew Stafford. The Rams win a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. The 49ers were in the exact same spot with Jimmy Garoppolo. They had just signed him. They had gotten to the Super Bowl with him. He was injured a little bit. He was an incredible game manager, but there were certain things that he just could not do, in the opinion of Kyle Shanahan, that made Shanahan and John Lynch say, we've got to go get a dude back there who can make all the throws, who's a threat. Because they watched the Wizard. They lost to the Wizard. They knew exactly what Mahomes was going to be. We got to knock that guy off. So we got to get a playmaker to be able to do it. So they move up to 3. And I just couldn't believe it. There was all of these rumors about Mac Jones, and it just didn't seem true. And then as we got closer and closer, Trey Lance, a guy who starts 1 year at North Dakota State, that's where we're going at 3 overall, and they gave up all of that to get it, and then they did. And then it was, okay, now where? Now where for Fields? And the thing that you just kept saying is just land in a good spot. Just land in a good spot. And as the way that draft played out, if you were trying to find landing spots for him, it became increasingly hard. And then inevitably at 11, he goes to Chicago. And it was the one spot that you would have said, there were a handful of spots that you would have said, no, not there. That's one of them. That's a no, not there. Not Chicago. They just never drafted. They'd never developed a quarterback. They did not have the pieces around him to give him a chance to be successful. I did not believe in the coaching in any way, shape, or form. I'll never know if I was right about Justin Fields. I think history's proven that I probably wasn't, that for whatever reason it just didn't click in the National Football League the way that I believed that it would. There's a billion factors that could be in play, but there's a percentage of him not making it in the NFL that also lands on where he was drafted. It lands on where you're drafted. It lands on the circumstances that you are in. It takes a truly special player to survive and then inevitably thrive in adverse conditions. That's the rarity to find one of those guys who can get through all of that. I think to that point, I think it's kind of remarkable that Trevor Lawrence has had some level of success. And I know we want him to have more, but the positions that he's been put in with all of these different coaches and coordinators and everything else, it seems now he's finally got some stability there. And if you have the stability, well, then you can flourish. So Fields was the one for me. He was the one that I was most invested in terms of I can't wait to see what he does at the next level. And then it was kind of by draft night on that Thursday when it was Bears, it was kind of like, well, that's so uphill. That is such an uphill battle. I just don't see a scenario where he can have success there. And sure enough, he didn't. And we'll never know, as I said. Who was your guys'? Who was the Buckeye player you were most invested in?
I remember first for me was Vernon Golston. After having watched him set up shop in Michigan's backfield, was that 2007 when they won in Ann Arbor? And I thought, well, this guy's an action figure. He'll do great. And he went to New York, and he, in fact, did not do great. I was curious. I think
it's all Jake Long, right?
Yeah.
3 sacks on Jake Long. Yeah.
Right. It was the best offensive tackle that Michigan had ever had. One of the best offensive tackles in a generation.
Yeah.
And Vernon just threw him around one November day in Ann Arbor. And
he did.
For me, that was like, well, that's can't miss. I was also really curious. Like, I rooted so hard for Maurice Clarett to beat the NFL and to just have success early. It obviously never materialized, but those are the two.
I think the Fields one is fascinating as far as where is this guy going to go? Mm-hmm. And, Bo, my dad is still convinced that the New England Patriots were throwing stuff out there about Justin Fields to get him to fall to them. He's still convinced. They were
picking at 15. To his point, they were picking at 15. Bill would have been there then still, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he still believes that that's the case. That you remember hearing things about Justin before the draft, and he swears that was the New England Patriots. One that I was always interested in, and it wasn't because of a fit or anything, but it was because I loved him so much, was Ezekiel Elliott. Mm-hmm. And I think Zeke would have went anywhere and been what Zeke was. But I remember him going to the Cowboys, and it devastated me.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I hate the Cowboys.
Hate the Cowboys?
Because I hate the Cowboys, but I loved Zeke. So I knew I was going to have to root for this guy on this team, and if he did well, they would do well. And I was going to hate it. But I did love Zeke. There's one in this year's draft that fascinates me, Bo. and that's Davison Igbinosun. Because I think Davison Igbinosun has a chance to be like this year's Martin Emerson, kind of. And I know Emerson went to a smaller school and whatnot, but he's that big physical corner that I feel like NFL guys fall in love with. And I'm so interested to see where Davison Igbinosun goes this year and how that affects his career.
Sure. I mean, there's one in every draft. It's funny on the Zeke thing. He was one of those guys who, as that draft drew near, it was just pretty obvious that he was going to be a Dallas Cowboy. It just fit everything. I mean, it just fit all of the. He was such a known commodity his final season here, and such a star. The cutoff suit at the draft, all of those things, and then he goes out and has one of the greatest rookie seasons a running back's ever had. 1631, led the NFL in rushing, 15 touchdown, 5 yards a carry. Just was tremendous in Dallas. There's a lot of them out there in terms of these guys that you're invested in. That's interesting on the Justin Fields one. Which one of these guys? Let's get into that coming up next. Of these 5 guys who are going to go in the first round and 4 in the top 10, what are kind of the spots for them that make the most sense for us, and what makes it the easiest route? We will get into that coming up next. We're off and running on a Tuesday edition, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Spring has arrived, and it'll be a great time to open your windows. But, oh, wait, your windows don't open easily. They leak when it rains. They've got cracked glass. They need repainting again. Ugh, getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation, that's easy and affordable. Right now, during the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. With Window Nation, you'll get windows that easily slide open and closed. They are made with top quality seals so they won't leak when it's rainy or windy. And unlike other windows, they're maintenance free. They're so good, Window Nation stands behind them with a lifetime warranty. And they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's The More You Buy, The More You Save sale. Going on now. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com for your consultation.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
This is Gordon Miller for Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked a 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST, or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? I don't know. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can Also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Ohio delivers elections you can trust through unparalleled accuracy. In every election, we feature a thorough bipartisan audit with a consistent 99.9% accuracy rate. Make your plan to vote at voteohio.gov. Absentee ballots must be returned by Election Day.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny today and much warmer with breezy winds and highs in the mid to upper 70s. And then for tonight, chances of showers and storms overnight with our lows down into the 50s. For Wednesday, chances of showers and storms the first half of the day. Otherwise expected to be partly sunny with highs in the mid to low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. The show that understands the importance of a situational beverage. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. We are proudly brought to you and sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for nearly 80 years. You could pick one of these Buckeyes and assign a team to them. Reese, which one?
So I'm going to just stick with teams in the top 5 because you obviously know my affinity for 17 at 6, but give me Sonny at 5 to the New York Giants.
Okay.
Do not, and I have this written down, do not go to the New York Jets. Whatever you can do. I'm so sorry, Alvaro Reese, but it feels like that's where they're going. And look, if this would be the steal of the century, if the Giants could get rid of Dexter Lawrence, who didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Get Sonny at 5 and Caleb Downs at 10. Whew. You kidding me? Whew. And with the thing with Big Blue is they don't really have Joe Schoen to mess things up because John Harbaugh is going to be running that operation, and I have immense confidence in him.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that's happening at all because I believe the Giants are taking Caleb, and I think yes, and I think Caleb, and I think Caleb with Harbaugh is going to be fantastic. Yeah. Harbaugh will use him tremendously. But, I mean, as a Browns fan and as a fit and a need, I don't think there's anything that makes more sense in this draft, quite frankly, than Carnell Tate to the Cleveland Browns. Now, that may not be great for Carnell Tate, quite frankly. But fit and what the team needs, and I just – if he's there at 6, I don't know how the Browns don't sprint and take him. But – crazier things have happened.
Well, you know how, and you know what's going to happen on Thursday.
The thing that's going to be tricky, and we'll get into their draft at 11 o'clock at greater length, but we're all on the same page with Tate at 6, right? I mean, that's just too easy. You need a 1. You need a weapon. You need someone who will catch the ball that's thrown to him. Carnell Tate does all of those things. Like that, let's not overthink it. You have to have that. You can, and for the people who say, well, you can't ever acquire a left tackle or a right tackle. No, you can't. But there also is no surefire thing that drafting a left tackle at 6 is any more productive than drafting a tackle at 24. There just isn't. There's been tackles drafted high who haven't hit. There is no sure thing tackle in this draft. I've asked every single person who I met at the combine, and we talked to all of them. There wasn't anybody who said that the gap between wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, and usually it was the first 3 with Tate consensus being the number 1. Those first 3 and then the next 3 was a pretty decent gap. The difference between tackle at 6, the number 1 tackle, and the number 4 tackle wasn't that big of a deal. In fact, every tackle in this draft has concerns. There are no sure things. There aren't. And by the way, nobody thought Tristan Wirfs was a sure thing. How many tackles were drafted ahead of him? 4? Including Jed Wills? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not, there's no sure things in this thing. Here's what I know. If you throw the ball to Carnell Tate, he catches it. That's what I know.
That's what the Browns need.
And they need that. They need that.
And do that. Let me be perfectly honest. The Browns may not be the best fit for Carnell Tate. Because there's probably other teams.
Who would be? Like, if you, from his perspective, take our orange and brown colored glasses out of it. I mean, the one that
Kansas
would be,
City.
If you could, holy hell.
I think the Commanders with Jane Daniels.
Yeah.
If he fell to 9. Like, does Washington, would they be in the receiver business?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm just. Like,
Giants at 5, maybe?
There's a lot of teams Cardell Tate would probably rather go to than the Cleveland Browns, is what I'm saying. Now, he's going to go to the Browns. He's going to be their number 1 wide receiver right off the rip. But what is their quarterback situation?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to get a decent feel about that today, and we'll talk about this at 11 o'clock, but, like, they have a mini camp up there today. I mean, so that means Shedeur, Deshaun. Like, Deshaun's full go. Like, who gets first rep? Who takes the first snap there? I think all of that's fascinating because it's a clean slate with Todd Monken. Total clean slate. So who knows how all of that will shake out. So if you take Tate out of it to Cleveland at 6, and I think that the Giants are an interesting spot. I tend to think that Reese's dream scenario, and if you're the Giants, I think it would probably be pretty close to a dream scenario to get Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. I don't think that that's going to be in the cards. For Arvell, I'm with you, not the Jets. If I could pick a place, at least Arizona, the weather's good. Like, go live in Scottsdale.
They're turning
Paradise
things
Valley.
over, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a new, fresh organization. For some reason, the Jets kept things the same.
Yeah, and they're going to be terrible. So to me, Arizona is just set up to be the tank for Arch or whatever it's going to be next year at this time, whether it's whichever one of those quarterbacks they like at the top of the draft. They're really set up to do that. By the way, did you see that Jacoby Brissett is not at the offseason because he wants starter money?
Jesus.
It's nice to want things.
Goodness.
I want Jim Rome money, but I'm showing up.
What are you kidding?
Did somebody say, I thought
Have
I
a
saw.
take, don't suck, Reese.
I thought I saw that the Cardinals said, yeah, we'll work something out. Like they were thinking about giving it to him. Huh?
There's no way.
Why would you ever?
What?
Just start Minshew. What are you doing?
I thought that was the plan.
Yeah, like why would you pay him anything? So no, they're clear. They have Minshew and Jacoby Brissett. They're tanking.
If you're Arvell, are you hoping to maybe fall to 4 and go team up with Robert Saleh in a state with no state tax and away you go?
Ideally.
I think Arizona's pretty great for him. That's a pretty good quality of life. You're probably true on Tennessee. Tennessee is going to me, Tennessee's taking a weapon. So most of the mocks have him with Jeremiah Love. If it's not him, then I could see Carnell Tate there at 4. Like you have got to give a rookie quarterback some toys to play with. Like you can't put him in the corner and say, draw something on a wall. Like give him some toys and see what happens. So to me, Tennessee at 4 is weapon. Arvell at 3 would be ideal over Jets for me just because of the weather. I think both of them are a really, really tough spot, and you're not going to win much. At 5, Caleb feels perfect to me. If that isn't the case, I like your Sonny play as well there, Reese, for the Giants at 5. That's pretty cool, too. I think both of those guys could handle what it means to be a New York Giant under John Harbaugh. Both of them could. And I think he wants and needs foundational pieces to build that thing.
Humans you don't have to worry about.
Yes. He wasn't in Baltimore in that first draft when they got Ray Lewis and why am I blanking on the big tackle? The Hall of Famer, gold jacket. The tackle they got in the first draft. Ray Lewis, UCLA, why am I blanking? Gold jacket.
Jonathan Ogden.
Thank you. He wasn't there at that time. But that's when you're trying to flip something, you land 2 gold jackets in one draft. Not suggesting Caleb and Sonny would be that, but they're guys you don't have to worry about. They're guys you can put a C on in a couple of years, and away you go. Foundational players. So if Caleb goes at 5 and Carnell goes at 6, I wouldn't mind Sonny in Washington. I think it's a brand new day there. They got the new uniforms, new stadium, new ownership. There was a time when that was a model franchise, and a massive fan base and a incredibly cool place to play. I think Sonny could be on the defense what Jaden Daniels is on the offense in Washington. That one would not upset me at all if they went that way.
I think that's a really good spot for Sonny Styles, too. However, I don't know if he's going to get there because there's a team at 6 that likes trading back, and there's a team at 12 that it sounds like wants to trade up. And
so I think the trade that the Cowboys would want to make would be if Arvell fell, because then they get their replacement for Micah Parsons. So if Bailey or Arvell fell to 6, then do the Cowboys move up? As great as Sonny is, but do they go up from 12 to 6 for an off-ball linebacker? As great as he is, it almost to me like if one of those ends drops, rush ends. Now we're on to something. Now I guess you could make Sonny that too. Not to suggest he can't go do that. He could go do that. But the comp you get for Arvell more than anything else is Micah Parsons.
I just feel like Jerry is one of those guys that loves the freakish athlete.
He does.
And the combine guy. Mm-hmm. And there may not have ever been a better one than Sonny Styles.
No, it checks a lot of, and he loves the known, right? Like he loves the flash, and Sonny's going to have a lot of that. Louis Riddick was on Get Up and weighed in on Sonny Styles. Here's what he had to say.
I've said this before about Sonny Styles. I think he's the safest player. And look, sometimes safe means you're not necessarily really high on the guy's actual physical attributes. No, his physical attributes are off the chart. When I say safe, I say this. This kid's a pro already. He is a pro. He is a foundational player. He's the kind of guy that you build an entire organization around at the command and control center, at the Mike linebacker position. He will be the guy that you put front and center in front of the media. He's the guy who will speak for the football team from day one. Sonny has that kind of polish. He has been raised the right way. He did it at Ohio State. He was the green dot player there. Everyone looked up to this kid, on top of the fact that he's built like an avatar.
That's a nice line at the end. Yes, he is. And yes, he did do all of those things at Ohio State. At the top of the show, in the show prep to you guys, I put, we're the lucky ones. And what I mean by that is this is a pretty blah draft for most people around the country. We're the lucky ones in that we have 4 Buckeyes in the top 10. If we're not doing this show here, you're not talking about this top 10. There's not a whole lot of interest here. Mendoza's going 1. It's known. It's been known since the day the season ended. And beyond that, it's off-ball linebackers and rush ends and tackles. There is nothing here that is all that flashy, but we benefit tremendously because 4 of our guys are going to go in the top 10. And quite honestly, the little exercise we just did there, I think all of the spots that we kind of assigned, even if you mix and match some of them, they're good spots. This isn't a field situation where, unless you go to the Jets, I mean, that's kind of the only one that's really bad. So as long as Arvell doesn't go 2 to the Jets, then I think everything else you can kind of talk yourself into it. And they're all going to be in good spots. And so Thursday night is going to be damn interesting for us because of the investment that we have in these guys. But if you're not in Columbus, Ohio, and you are not a fan of one of these teams drafting in the top 10, it's a little bit of a different sell. One team that said, you know what? We don't need to pick. It was the old Rams. Blank them picks. Of all teams, the Bengals. What a move. All in. All of the chips. You'll hear from Zach Taylor, Dexter Lawrence, and the Bengals in a brand new day in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking. Perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout. From backyard cookouts to game room showdowns. Make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
With the first pick of my favorite places in Columbus, I choose Hollywood Casino Columbus. The draft is coming up. 4 in the top 10. Oh, man, is this draft going to be fun. So much fun, we need to throw a party. Scotty Vegas here, and come to the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus on Thursday, April 23rd for the draft. We're going to have contests, prizes, and best bets. See you at 7 on Thursday, April 23rd. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Kroger makes it easy to save on fuel. Just redeem the points you've earned to save up to $1 a gallon at the pump. See store for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you? One of the things that I think you're going to see in the National Football League this year, and this is what's up, is you're going to see teams that are pushing all of their chips in. There's a vulnerability at the top of the National Football League, in part because Patrick Mahomes, who for the longest time, it was either the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl, is coming off of a major injury. There is uncertainty in the AFC. My God, in year 2, Drake May, and in year 1 with Mike Vrabel, the New England Patriots got to the Super Bowl. The Seattle Seahawks just won it out of nowhere with Sam Darnold in year 1. There is a wide open chasm at the top of the NFL of teams who can compete for Super Bowls. And one of the teams that clearly believes that they should be in that mix, or at least want to be in that mix, is the Cincinnati Bengals. That's how they've conducted their offseason. And they were staring at pick number 10 and saying, is the player we're going to get at 10 good enough to put us in Super Bowl contention right now? And the answer that they came back with was clearly no. So instead, they shipped that pick to the Giants, and in return, they got Dexter Lawrence, who's one of the best defensive tackles in the league and will give them a massive push up front. Here is Lawrence, who was available yesterday down in Cincinnati, on being the final piece to the Super Bowl agenda.
It's pressure, but, I embrace pressure. I've been having pressure all my life since high school. This is, I've always been the guy to, just that guy in the middle who wrecks the game. I want to continue that. I'm going to continue that. And, for them to, have that trust in me to give up the 10th pick like that, it means a lot. And I carry that well, and I carry that.
It does mean a lot because at 10, you were going to get somebody pretty cheap, and you would have him under team control for a long time. So they need this to work. It is certainly an all-in move down in Cincinnati. Here's Zach Taylor, your head coach, on the excitement the move presents.
Exciting. It really is, and not just for me, for our locker room, our organization, our fan base. Everybody's been on board with this decision. Really credit upstairs to ownership in the front office for getting this done. This is not an easy thing to forego the 10th pick in the draft, but for a player of this caliber, we're excited that we did it. He's excited to be here. Everyone's excited to have him. It's a tremendous addition, like I said yesterday in my quote, just on and off the field. Just being around him for 24 hours, his presence elevates everybody. And again, a lot of credit to a lot of people upstairs for getting this done. And as coaching staff, we're really excited about it.
So if you have the offseason they have had defensively, that includes, several new starters on the defensive side of the ball, upwards of 4, maybe 5 new starters on the defensive side of the ball, all done either via trade or free agency, this one being the biggest. You've already signed your 2 receivers. Burrow's under contract. He's running out of a little bit of patience. Who do you think the pressure's on down there? Our guy, Zach. He was asked if he can feel the urgency.
I felt it, the amount of players that communicated with me through calls or texts Saturday night, Sunday, you feel that energy from them. You just feel it around the building. It's indescribable a little bit. You can't really put it into words, but I was out and about all over the region and all over the community yesterday. I had, I think, 6 sporting events in Cincinnati yesterday that I was at, and you could feel the buzz about it. I was in Chicago on Saturday night. There was a lot of Cincinnati teams there in the gym I was in. You could feel the buzz there. And so it's one of those things that just elevates everybody, and we got to go win. You add Dexter, you add all these guys on defense that we've added. You can just feel the presence of everybody we've added on top of the guys that we already have, young and old. And we got a really great collection of guys. We're in a tremendous position going into the draft this weekend to just add pieces, on either side of the ball that can help us go win. But I'm really excited about the position we're in today.
Zach Taylor, AAU dad?
It tracks.
Seems like it.
I mean, you guys are one and the same, Bo.
If he's at 5 events around Cincinnati and 1 in Chicago in a gym, yeah, I think it's possible that he's an AAU dad. God bless him for all of that. But it's on him, isn't it? At this point, I mean, I don't know what more that you would want. I look at the Cincinnati Bengals. I just do yourself a favor, go to our lads and pull up their 2 deep on their depth chart and just look at who's there. I mean, if you don't, I mean, doesn't it feel like go win the Super Bowl, guys? You got all the weapons.
Yeah.
You got the quarterback. You got running backs. You got offense that is top 5 in the league. Defensively, now with Lawrence, Jonathan Allen, Boye Mafe, all acquired this offseason. You also have first-round pick Shamar Stewart, who is back. You've got, in terms of in the secondary, they hired Brian Cook comes in. Dex Hill's been there. Even Kyle Duggar in a kind of a utility role was brought in as well. Go win it. It's on Zach now.
This becomes more than just make the playoffs.
I agree.
Like, this becomes an absolutely be in the AFC Championship with a chance to win the Super Bowl. Because all of that you mentioned, but you have a quarterback that 29 other teams would trade in a heartbeat for.
Yes.
And so I think because that window is closing, because every time you hear from Bengals fans, wow, but Joe Burrow is healthy, is that the biggest if in the NFL right now?
It's up there.
I think that, and if Zach Taylor can be a Super Bowl winning coach.
You kind of know where Zach Taylor is, and we think, and what we've said is that Joe Burrow is kind of that tide that raises everybody a little bit, and he raises Zach Taylor towards competency. I think he can cover up a lot of Zach Taylor's warts if he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so interesting, and I believe we talked about it on this program way back when there were 3 head coaching vacancies in the AFC North, and we're like, the AFC North is as wide open as it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the Bengals looked at that and we're like, you know what? It is. If we go out and we spend a little money and we improve this defense, and maybe that's not fair because they spent money the past couple years. They got Jamar locked up. They got T locked up. They took care of the offensive part of this thing for Joe Burrow. They also, something we haven't talked about, is they locked up 2 offensive linemen this year, too. They got them re-signed and back in the fold. So now they've gone out and they've added these. Just look at the defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
With Jonathan Allen and Dexter Lawrence, those are 2 mammoth humans. Who's going to run the ball right up the middle on the Bengals this year?
No.
I'm not sure who's going to be able to. So the Bengals have gone out. They've improved this defense tremendously. And other than Joe Burrow's health and Zach Taylor's competency, the defense has been the thing that we've really worried about with the Cincinnati Bengals. So I don't know how right now the Bengals aren't the favorite to win the AFC North. And I would think they've got to be one of the favorites to win the AFC.
All right. So let's play a little game about exactly that. So I'm on FanDuel. Super Bowl best odds. Worst, I guess, best odds. Rams plus 700. Then Seahawks plus 950. Then Bills plus 1,000. Baltimore plus 1,100. The Chargers plus 1,500. The Patriots plus 1,600. Chiefs plus 1,600. Niners 1,600. Detroit's at 17. Denver, Green Bay, Philly, Houston, all plus 2,000. Cowboys plus 2,200. At plus 2,500, you find the Chicago Bears, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a pretty nice number. And I know Bengals fans saying, well, come on, we're the Bengals. Dude, look at your roster. Look at your quarterback. How is that not a nice little soft earn there?
I just think because
25-1?
Nine's health looms.
It does, but I don't see any. There's teams I mentioned above them that I see no scenario they're winning the Super Bowl, like the Los Angeles Chargers. None. Zero chance. I see no scenario where the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl. None. Zero chance. I see no scenario where the Denver Broncos do. None.
That juice is worth the squeeze.
Houston, too? No way. No way. Cincinnati? Healthy Burrow? I mean, in the AFC, guys, it goes Buffalo, Baltimore, Chargers, Patriots, Chiefs, Texans, Broncos, Bengals to win the AFC, plus 1,100.
I'd be interested to see after the draft if that moves at all.
I can't believe it didn't move more.
Same.
I mean, if you just pull it up, if you just look at their roster, just act like they're any old team and know who that quarterback is, know who those weapons are, who that run game is, what they've done defensively. If that defense is top 20 in the league, as long as they're not in the bottom third of the league, if they're somewhere in the middle third, they can beat anybody. Beat anybody. So I get their situation. I think they're in a sweet spot. I love the ideal that ownership went all in. This is the first time since, 89, that the Bengals have not had a first-round pick?
Yeah.
They don't do this. But they did. And maybe because of Joe. Who knows? But they did it, and they're on the clock now. And so if you're a Bengals fan, you can go into next season and say, hey, let's go win the Super Bowl. And that's a fun place to be. All right, coming up next, take a little break from the NFL draft. We'll get into the night in sports and a classic line that was uttered at a lacrosse game I heard last night. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
BMI Federal Credit Union is celebrating their 90th anniversary all year long with monthly sweepstakes. Get in on your chance to win free gas for a year when you lower your car payment with a BMI FCU auto loan. Apply today at bmifcu.org/gas.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle of the night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time, with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome.
Thousands of students every year choose Columbus State Community College, earning degrees that open doors to in-demand jobs, stable careers, and real earning power. Columbus State is making Central Ohio stronger. Apply today at cscc.edu.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
This
spring, take a break from interest with 0% financing for up to 60 months on new 2026 Tucsons. 0%. Go now, Columbus or Dublin or GLakesHyundai.com. With Crew Credit ends 4/30.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
After putting up with Tom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and it's your Uncle Bo here for my great friends at Diamond Sellers. Spring is the perfect time to celebrate the women who have everything, that mean everything to you. That's your mom, your wife, your daughter, someone who's always had your back. When it comes to finding a gift that really says thank you, I trust my friends at Diamond Seller. For over 78 years, they've helped generations find beautiful, timeless jewelry for every occasion. Mother's Day, anniversaries, graduations. It's that time. You got a couple of weeks on Mother's Day. Time to get after it, fellas, or just because, which is honestly kind of the best way to do it. At Diamond Seller, you find something she'll love and treasure for years to come. So this spring, give her a little sparkle. Visit Diamond Seller, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center, or shop online at diamondseller.com. So we're at we've got lacrosse last night for Beamsy's team, and so they're playing in the A game at 5, and then the two B teams are warming up kind of behind us, and the opposing team is warming up, and they're kind of monkeying around, and they're flinging lacrosse balls everywhere. And if you're not familiar with the lacrosse ball, think of it as like a supercharged Super Ball, like when you were a kid. Like, it's a heavy thing. It'll do damage. If it hits a human, it'll do damage. And they're kind of monkeying around. And the coach for the team goes, "Do you guys want to do recess or do you want to play lacrosse?" And universally, the kids go, "Recess!"
What did he expect was going to happen there?
It's one of those ones. It's kind of like telling someone you love them. You better make damn sure you're getting the right answer on the other end of that. You don't throw out an "I love you" unless you know you're getting it coming back. And that's the same thing with coaching. If you're going to say one of the options is recess and the other one is, look, anything structured, they're going to choose recess. Now, I'll say I was a little surprised because this is 5, 6s, 5th, 6th graders. So usually at that point, they're a little bit more locked in. Like 3, 4s, that's a layup. You can never give that option to 3, 4s. That's recess all day long. But it's one of those ones as a coach. If you're going to drop a game, structured game, listen to me, you got to do what I say, or free reign recess, all the time it's going recess. Love that.
And I'm 35 and I'd take recess.
That was amazing.
Great. Recess is pretty great. Pretty great.
That was the best time.
What was your number one recess activity?
You had a ball and you just did whatever with it. You either threw it or you kicked it.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything ever really like programmed or coordinated. It was just, oh, there's something.
Okay.
It's probably kickball.
Pretty great.
That's what I think we did that a lot. There was some basketball too, but probably kickball the most.
We had, if the weather was good, we had 2 courts, 2 true blacktop courts. It was, I want to say it was tennis court surfaced, which made no sense because it's not like anyone was playing tennis in Montana. But they had 2 tennis court surfaces, but they had 2 basketball courts that were like short courts that ran on each side of the fence. And so if the weather was good, we would play that. Certainly in the spring, there was a lot of that. In the fall, it was always football. For the longest time, I'm old here, kids. Like, we played tackle football.
Yeah, we would do that too.
Yeah.
Or smear you can't say that.
Really kind of tackle anything. Like, even soccer became, like, kickball would also become full contact.
Yeah, I think so. The game that you just almost said there, Bake, which would have got us in trouble in the FCC, among other places, that game is now what they call jackpot.
Okay.
And so one guy's the jacker, and he slings it up, and then
that doesn't sound great either.
No, it doesn't.
Quite frankly.
One guy's your head's in the gutter this morning. One guy's the jacker, and then one guy tries to catch it, and then I think in the old days it was like a game we used to play called 500, where you got 100 points every time you caught it, and then you got to be the guy who threw it. But now they just bomb each other. I mean, when they go to catch it, they just bomb each other. So that's part of it. Another one that we played that was a lot of fun when it was winter was Fox and Geese. And that's the one where you create the pass in the snow. And then one guy, it's basically tag. One guy's it, but you have to stay on the pass. You can't cut across or anything. So we'd create these pass because snow would stay for months at a time in Montana. So you'd create these pass on the football field, and then you'd have to be chased throughout it. That was a big one, too. Those were kind of the ones. So all of those things are more funner, if you will, than structured sport. Those things are all pretty undefeated. This was another thing that was uttered last night. So we get home, and the boys were – I was curious if they would want to watch any of the postseason stuff, like if anything. And they were like, let's put the Cavs game on, which then led to, well, where is it? I said, oh, it's on Peacock.
Also a fun game?
I said, I think it's on Peacock tonight, which led to my wife saying, why isn't it on normal TV? And I said, you really should listen to the first hour of this show because we discussed these things.
She doesn't know it exists.
Wait a second. There's a first hour?
Hold on.
Yeah.
You
she
go
thinks
on
the
at
show
9?
starts at
9 to 10
minutes.
show prep, baby.
Like 10 years ago when we started this, it was 10 to noon. What's the problem? I'm like, yeah, no, it's on Peacock. She's like, did you know that? Yeah, I knew. I knew it was on Peacock. So then that leads to a scramble of, well, which of the TVs in the house has Peacock loaded? So a couple of them do, but then once you load it, you have to re-log in. And so then I have to be there with my phone to be able to do the QR code to get that to go. And that annoys me because I'm trying to get dinner going and all these things are happening. So the best that they can settle on, Beamsy goes, well, it's on the Xbox downstairs. Apparently, Peacock's on the Xbox downstairs. So that's what they did. They put it on the Xbox downstairs and watched the Cavaliers beat the Raptors. And they did watch it. I didn't know if they would or not, but they watched quite a bit of it. And I was curious because I don't know. To me, it feels like from the Cavs' perspective that, and Reese, you're the one who watches them more than anybody on this show, certainly. It feels like wake me up, like the fan base is kind of collectively, okay, fine, wake me up when we get to the Eastern Conference Final.
It's been that way all season.
Yeah.
I think that most were waiting, all right, just get to the end of the season, see where you are. And then, as I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, just avoid Boston. Mm-hmm. And so now that they're that, you're 2 games into the series against the Raptors, and it doesn't feel like there's any threat that Toronto can win the series. Now, they may take a game or two. It's 2-0 going to Toronto Thursday for game 3. Mm-hmm. But you got 83 points from your big 3 last night. They outscored you off the bench like 45 to, what was it, like 15 or something? Mm-hmm. But you're not worried because you're getting scoring out of Mitchell and Harden. And you're getting scoring out of Mobley. And you're getting good enough defense to keep them, at 105 points for a game 2. There were stretches where they got it to 6, I think, last night. And you never really, it didn't feel threatening. But like, okay, because the Raptors are good. But they're not good enough. And so I think the Cavs will be able to out-talent this team. I think they'll be able to out-talent if they got to play certainly Detroit in the next round, despite the better record for the Pistons. So it really does feel, and I wonder if maybe a dominating finish to this series or a dominating finish in the second round will change Cavs fans' opinions. But I'm still of the mindset like, let's just get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then we can start talking about how you did this season.
I didn't look right before tip, but in the middle of the afternoon yesterday, you could have got in for $30.
It was an incredible atmosphere.
Yeah.
But it's apathy right now because this is the way it's supposed to be going. Even with Garland, and I know they played him 3 times in the regular season with Garland in the on the roster, and they lost all 3 to the Raptors, but the Raptors were one of the best teams early on in the entire league. This is still just, all right, but you're supposed to be doing this, Cleveland.
Yeah. What in the years that I've been doing this, in the years I've been in Ohio, going back to 2007, there was the LeBron factor where this town was all in on LeBron James. I mean, the ratings proved it. People, you'd go to places, there were watch parties, all that stuff. There's so many Northeast Ohio expats down here. And then the other thing that happened was LeBron felt like he was just kind of an Ohioan. And then he kept his connection to Ohio State through it all. Like he'd show up at Ohio State games even when he went to the Miami Heat. Like he would do those things. So I think there was that part of it. I think for this group I don't think they'll ever reach that point. But do I think this city would jump on a Cavs bandwagon if they were in the NBA Finals? Yeah, for sure. If they were in the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston, yeah, for sure. I think you would see it in a very, very big way. We'll hit the real truth in the second hour of the program. Also, The Trial of Tiberi. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
4 tickets, hot dogs, and drinks, all for just $115. The Columbus Aviators Family Flight Plan makes game day easy. Grab yours at UFLaviators.com.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Common Man here for GoGermain.com. I have been telling you about my friends at Germain for a long time, and it's because they bring the goods. And right now, you get $3,000 over Kelley Blue Book on your trade during the Germain Trade and Upgrade Sales Event. Yes, cue the trumpets. Nearly 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles, plus an extra $3,000 on your trade means your budget goes further. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started now at GoGermain.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Hop into savings this spring with Ohio Mulch. Right now, save $100 on home delivery orders, but only for a limited time at OhioMulch.com. What sets Ohio Mulch apart? Our premium pine bark mulch made from high-quality southern pine from South Georgia. It lasts longer and creates the perfect pH for acidic-loving plants like hydrangeas and azaleas. Better mulch, better results. Shop now at OhioMulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
Hey, it's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank Spirits, but the food is just as good. Brunch worth planning your weekend around. Seasonal dinners perfect for date night or game night. Plus, kids eat half off every Monday. Find menus and locations at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
It worked once, so we're doing it again. Sign up now for the Fan 5K, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. We're back at Otterbein on Saturday, June 20th. Walk a mile with the Common Man, jog a 5K with T-Bone, or try to beat Tyvis in a 40-yard dash. Tyvis won't stretch, so there's a chance he pulls something. The fun starts at 8 a.m. Saturday, June 20th. Register today and earn a sweet medal, race t-shirt, and a photo op at the finish line. Sign up at 971therace.com. Prepare your tightest running clothes, and we'll see you at the Fan 5K on June 20th.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. April's the perfect time to reset your home for the long run, and Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus 24 months with no payments and no interest. And if you need some more, how about a $500 bonus off your home improvement project? Schedule your free estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The NFL draft is Thursday in Pittsburgh. The Raiders have the number 1 pick. They'll likely take Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. 4 Buckeyes are projected in the top 10. 5 in total are expected to hear their names called Thursday. We'll have the draft live on The Fan. The Browns will pick at 6. You can hear Cleveland's draft preview special on The Fan tomorrow night at 8. In the NBA last night, the Cavaliers beat the Raptors 115-105 in Game 2 of their first-round playoff series. Cleveland's going to take their 2-0 series lead to Toronto for Game 3 on Thursday. In other NBA news, Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama became the youngest and only unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. The 22-year-old Wembanyama is a finalist for League MVP, along with Denver's Nikola Jokic and Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. No word yet on when the MVP will be awarded. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie, and once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a Tuesday. The trial of Tiberi Cohen coming up in about 29 minutes from now. Has he been a secret sleeper cell this entire time? It's in play. It's very much in play based on comments from this weekend, so we'll put him on trial. Between now and then, though, we hit the real truth. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present The Real Truth.
Sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years.
The Ohio State Buckeyes will be preseason number 1 in the AP Top 25. Is that the real truth?
Okay, who are our candidates? Buckeyes are going to be a candidate. Oregon's going to be a candidate. Texas will be a candidate. Georgia will be a candidate. Those would be the 4 that my thinking will be in the. Is there anybody I'm missing?
Will they because they won it all, will they have Indiana in the running too?
I think it's no, just from a. They could, Bake, because there are certain people out there that are like, to be the man, you got to beat the man, the old Ric Flair, right? So there's some of that. I just think they're starting so over at quarterback. I mean, they did last year too, but they didn't start last year in the top 5. I know they won it. I don't doubt Cignetti anymore. Like, we're past all of that.
What about Notre Dame?
Okay, that's one.
They'll get a vote or 2.
That's one. Yes, Notre Dame will be in the mix. I have not looked at Notre Dame's schedule to kind of be able to get into that. But let's just use those 4. Let's use Notre Dame, Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas. I don't think it'll be Texas because I think there's too many people who are butthurt about the way they start last season. So I don't think Texas is going to be one. I think people learned their lesson. Texas played better down the stretch, but they didn't play as well as people will lead you to believe.
They were having more fun.
Yeah, they were having more fun. Well, it helps when you don't play as good at teams. And they were better, but they still weren't. So I don't think it'll be Texas. I don't think it'll be Georgia because it's now 3 straight years without an SEC team playing for a national title, let alone winning a national title. So I don't think Georgia's going to be there at number 1. So that leaves Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Oregon. I think that the memory is a little too fresh of Oregon not having the intestinal fortitude to hang up and hang with Indiana last year and Ohio State the year before. So I don't think Oregon's going to be number 1. So that leaves Ohio State and Notre Dame. And I think the determining factor on the Buckeyes being number 1 and why I think this will be the real truth is, number 1, you're the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's a pretty easy sell. You got a Heisman Trophy finalist quarterback coming back, and you got the best player in the country coming back. It's a pretty easy sell as the preseason number 1. So I think it is the real truth. I think they will be the preseason number 1 next year.
So here's the Notre Dame schedule, Bo. They play at home against, well, I don't think it's at home. It's a neutral site game with Wisconsin.
Playing at Lambeau.
Then they have Rice, Michigan State, at Purdue, at North Carolina, Stanford, at BYU, Navy, the U, Boston College, SMU at Syracuse.
SMU will be a day.
The U at home.
Worst case scenario, they're going to go 10-2. I mean, they're a playoff team for sure.
That seems like a one-loss Notre Dame team, if to me.
Agreed. So they're going to be in the playoff. They'll be in the mix. But based on kind of the way I laid that out, I do think Ohio State's going to start the year preseason number one.
Ohio State very well could start the season number one. I don't think that's the real truth because you're going to see 4 players drafted in the top 10 on Thursday night. So that's going to give people some, how do you replace Caleb Downs? How do you replace Sonny Styles? How do you replace Arvell Reese? And I understand that Texas started last year off terribly, but they still have Arch, and people love Arch. They still have Colin Simmons, who is a heck of a player. They're super talented. They get that game against Ohio State at home, which I think will also sway some votes in their favor over Ohio State. So I believe Texas is going to be ranked number 1 in that first AP poll, with Ohio State right there behind them, or Ohio State at number 3. They may have Oregon number 2.
I'd put some soft earned on that, Bake.
This is the year for the Edmonton Oilers. Is that the real truth?
No. No. I don't think nice things happen to Canadian hockey teams. Just don't. I just think it's bad luck. I think the bigger thing for that operation is Connor McDavid going to play his entire career there? I've been to Edmonton, guys. Edmonton is 500 miles north of where I grew up. And I grew up an hour south of the Canadian border on the Rocky Mountain front. It is 500 miles north. Fellas, that's an outpost, the likes of which you can't even wrap your head around. It's a great town. They had a really cool indoor mall that's awesome. At one point, it was the largest mall in the world, incredible water park, amusement park, all of this stuff because it's cold. They got an owner who's willing to spend, who's got a lot of money. I want to say he's a Rexall. I think that's where his money comes from, is Rexall. He's got a ton of cash, and he's willing to spend it. But is McDavid really going to play his entire career that far of an outpost?
Well, if they don't win it this year or next year, no, he's not going to, because he only signed a 2-year deal, a 2-year extension. If you remember that, a team-friendly $25 million 2-year deal. So that kicks in at the start of next season. So that's through the next 2 years. But, I don't think McDavid's going to stay there because this isn't the real truth that this is their year. I understand they've gotten off to a 2-0 lead here, but this is an Anaheim Ducks team who they've been very good, but this is their first time in the playoffs in this kind of situation. And the thing with Edmonton is still the defense, and it's gotten a little better. Evan Bouchard was great this year as an offensive defenseman, and goaltending. It's been the bugaboo for Edmonton as long as McDavid's been there, and it still is. And until they get that figured out, I just don't think even Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl can overcome that.
Well, if he doesn't win one, though, guys, then you can stop with, the Crosby stuff. Just stop it. He needs to win a cup there. Because wherever he goes elsewhere, so he's got 2 more years left up on the deal. Where is he going to go? The places that I'm sure he'd want to go are Florida, Las Vegas, the Kings. I mean, everybody wants to play in those type of markets. So any of those places that he goes, of course, he'd be the best player on the team, but a lot of those places have won cups, some of them very recently. And so he's not going to get the full credit for that. There is a little bit of man, you better win one there. If he doesn't, it'll be a lot like when LeBron went to Miami. And you got to go do that because you can't win it here. And I understand basketball, hockey's different. I get it. But it's not like they haven't put talent around him. They have. And they've been to a Game 7 of a Stanley Cup final. And they couldn't close the deal.
Bo, I think you're right about that. And I think the one thing that the hockey purists are going to say is he didn't have Marc-Andre Fleury. And I know that Crosby, they won one after Marc-Andre Fleury.
He won 3 cups.
But yeah.
He won 3 cups with Pittsburgh.
I think that's the thing, is they've never gotten the goaltender right in Edmonton, so I think the hockey people will give him a pass.
I don't think that you can have him in the conversation, though, with those other guys, no matter what he does statistically.
4 Buckeyes will go in the top 10 of the 2026 draft. Is that the real truth?
Real truth. Yep. Locked. I can't see it. Here's the better part. Which is the one most likely to not go in the top 10?
Man, that's a great question.
Carnell?
Because I think I would have said Caleb Downs, but I don't think so now that the Giants have made this trade. I think Caleb's a lock at 5 now.
I think it's probably Carnell, too.
I think the tougher question might be, will they have 4 go in the top 8? Because I think that's where you're at now.
It might be that way. If you had to pick one of them to not, which one is most likely to fall? I think Reese is right. I think it's Carnell Tate. I think he's the one. Like, if the Browns do something at 6 and trade out of 6, and that's for Dallas to come up, and then the Browns are picking at 12, who in that bottom... because the other thing, too, is it's possible that some of these teams like Tyson Moore.
Would the Kansas City Chiefs pass on Carnell Tate, though? At 9?
I don't know. I don't know well enough to know, like, all of their needs. Obviously, they would love to have him, for sure. But is there something more pressing for them? I don't see any scenario where Sonny Styles isn't going in the top 10. I don't see any scenario where Caleb Downs isn't going in the top 10, and Arvell Reese is definitely not. So then it just comes down to me, Tate. I think it's likely all of them will. But the most, and again, that's why I said this is the real truth without any hesitation. But if you were going to pick one to not, to me it would be Tate. Because I could see people liking, I think it's wrong, but I could see people liking one of the receivers. For example, like on ESPN's composite receiver rankings, Carnell Tate is their number 3 receiver. So you have Mekhi Lemon 1, Jordan Tyson 2, and then Tate 3. Now, at the Combine, everybody had him consensus the best receiver. But it's in the eye of the beholder. So, to me, he's the most likely to fall. I think the rest of those guys are locks.
And Kuiper just put Jordan Tyson ahead of him in his wide receiver rankings because of Tyson's workout the other day and whatnot. I just think I would have a hard time seeing Carnell Tate slip past 9. I have a hard time seeing Sonny Styles slip past 7. And again, like I said, I think Caleb Downs is going 5 now to the New York Giants. So,
yeah. I think it's the real truth. But that conversation of which one's most logical, most likely to drop is certainly an interesting one. We talked a lot yesterday what we liked about Ohio State spring football, and we just talked about Ohio State potentially being the number 1 overall preseason team. If they're not, if there are question marks, if there are things that we didn't like about spring football with this Buckeye team, what are they? We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Is 2026 the year you achieve your health goals? The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
Hey, it's Anthony here for Germain Honda of Dublin. Gas prices got you thinking twice about filling up? I hear you. During the Honda Spring event at Germain Honda of Dublin, it's the perfect time to check out Honda's hybrid lineup. Models like the Accord Hybrid and the CR-V Hybrid give you incredible fuel efficiency without sacrificing performance. Spend less time and money at the pump. Head to Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and see how far a hybrid can take you. GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Spring is here, and there's no better place to make memories than the Columbus Zoo. See tigers up close, watch playful otters, and see the baby elephants in action. For a limited time, take advantage of our Zoo After 2 p.m. deal. Plan your adventure at columbuszoo.org.
There's nothing more meaningful you could do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy time with you again, especially heading into the vacation season. Here, let me help you. Dr. Tessner and his team at QC Kinetics take care of your pain in the office, and you can go right on with your day that easy. So if you say yes to any of these questions, you are the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every day. I have consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, shoulders, or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery and a long recovery. I am at the end of my rope, taking medication every day just to get through. Did you answer yes to more than one of those questions? Today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. QC Kinetics are easy, done in the office here in Dublin and Gahanna. The consultation is free, so don't wait. It'll be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Call 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Skip Mussick has been on the Fan for nearly 80 years, and during that time, he's worn many hats. Executive producer for Ohio State Athletics, talk show host, private detective when Ron Stokes loses his phone. Somebody do something! He's done it all. But his proudest accomplishment, host of Tee to Green. If it has anything to do with golf in Central Ohio, Skip's on it. Cheers to the next 80-year skipper. And listen to Tee to Green Saturday mornings at 9 here on The Fan.
We want Switzerland, Ohio students to have all the skills they need to graduate and be successful. But even though we have a great career tech center, it was hard to convince industry professionals to come teach here because public schools usually can't compete with what private sector jobs can offer. Recently, our local association reached an agreement with the district that allows us to attract great industry professionals to bring their knowledge and experience right into our classrooms. My name is Neil Ritchie, and I'm a proud Switzerland, Ohio Education Association member because strong unions make strong public schools for our students.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny today and much warmer with breezy winds and highs in the mid to upper 70s. And then for tonight, chances of showers and storms overnight with our lows down into the 50s. For Wednesday, chances of showers and storms the first half of the day, otherwise expected to be partly sunny with highs in the mid to low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bo could quit today and become the school drop-off line coordinator. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Oh, my God. So, I forgot to tell you this yesterday. So, I've outlined how the school drop-off goes at the middle school multiple times. One road feeds into a northbound road, and it's one road that goes east and westbound. And then it's northbound to go into the circle for the drop-off at the middle school. And yesterday, as I was heading westbound, one of Pade's good buddies and one of my good buddies was coming eastbound, and we met at the spot where you have to do the zipper merge, and one out, one in, and away you go. This is really confusing for a lot of people. I damn near got out of my car when I saw what I'm about to explain and hugged my buddy, because what I saw was a car that was now coming southbound trying to exit after dropping off their student, but was confused into when she was supposed to go. And my buddy got to the front of his windshield and was explaining via pointing, "You go you go. And finally she did, and she went, and the boys are like, what are you so happy about? I'm like, man, Coach Charriere nailed it. He nailed it. That I couldn't have been more proud of him. He had it, nailed it. You go, I go. It was like, you got it. It was spirit animal stuff. I was so happy to see a proper zipper merge actually happen. It's so damn convenient when it does. So good job. I just remembered that little bounce back reminded me of it. That's nothing makes me happier in a day than when we get it right.
If you can change, and I can change, and we can change.
It's just, they should just put zipper merge, like, you know how you're fed on your For You page for Instagram or whatever your social thing is, your Facebooks, whatever you do. They should just have, for everybody in Ohio, this is the proper way to merge.
I don't ever remember it being taught at driver's ed, and I think that needs to happen. And I don't. Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if driver's ed physical driving courses are part of the curriculum anymore because of COVID. It doesn't feel like it when you're on the roads. Like, none of these idiots can drive. Zipper merging being one of the cases, but I would be up for every 15 to 20 years, you've got to retake a test. You got to retake a driver's ed test.
Like the physical driving?
Yes.
Or the
Get
written?
in the car. Can you do this?
Yeah, that would be. So Ohio, when you move to Ohio, you guys have only ever lived here. When you move here, you have to retake the written test.
No, the other way around. I don't care about the written stuff.
Right.
Can you do it?
I mean, sir, I've got 15 years that says, yes, I can do this. So
I can
do it in the car. I want to see it. I need to see it.
That's as nervous as I've been for a test since college, was when I had to retake the driver's test when I moved to Ohio and physically take the test. And then you have to get, I think, 45 out of 50 in order to pass. It's 50 questions. It takes a while, if I remember right. It took 50 questions. When I moved to Montana to Florida, they were just like, oh, you got a driver's license? Here, have one. Put an orange on it. You're good to go. I moved up here, and they're like, well, you got to prove that you know our laws. Okay, Ohio, let's go. I had no clue. I didn't prep. I didn't study anything.
I
ended up passing it, but I was nervy.
There's a gubernatorial race afoot. Whichever one wants to reinstate every 20 to 25 years, you got to retake that driver's ed test. I'm voting for you.
Like the physical driving.
You got to get in a car with somebody licensed.
Yeah.
Maybe a cop. And can you do this?
Did you guys have, was it part of curriculum?
No, not officially, but they recommended you take them after school. We had a class, I think it was on Henderson Road.
Was it free, provided by the school, or did you have to pay for the class outside of it?
You had to pay for it.
So we're talking about driving, and that's so ridiculous sometimes. I just saw this, and I about choked on my own spit. Christoph Tilley has entered the transfer portal, even though he has no more eligibility.
What?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't.
So he's obviously going to try to get more eligibility somehow.
Hell yeah!
In all of this, what are we doing?
Well, what is his?
Colin White's going to Akron.
Well, that's a good fit.
There's no way that.
How many years has the guy played, Tilley?
5. He played 5. Right? He was at senior day festivities with a framed uniform.
I'm pretty sure.
I think he's on ESPN. I only see 5. I see 4. He played 3 years at Santa Clara and 1 year at Ohio State. So now what I don't understand is he played all 28 games his freshman year at Santa Clara. Didn't start any, but he played 12 minutes a night. Then he started 28 to 29 his sophomore year. He started all 31 his junior. So.
Adam Jardy of the Dispatch. Quote, he is out of eligibility, but Christoph Tilley is entering the transfer portal, end quote. Tilley, this more from Jardy's reporting. Tilley would not have a case for a hardship waiver or a medical red shirt. He played in at least 26 games in each of his 4 seasons of Division I basketball, and his only avenue to play a 5th year will be a change to the eligibility rule.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's a bunch.
He's banking on their 5-for-5 thing.
Yep, it says this is a part of wave of players entering the portal to keep their options open should the NCAA adopt the new 5-year eligibility rule starting with 2026-2027.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't move the needle for me. I don't. It's fine. I understand him trying to do it. If we do thing or not a thing in about 20 minutes, not a thing. Not a thing. Because I don't think any of this is going to be done by next year anyway. You're not going to have a 5-for-5 rule by next year. There's no way. They can't get anything done. We've had 2 executive orders. Nothing's followed. Like
sounds like we're a fast food restaurant now.
We are. Yeah, you're not getting anything done. Absolutely nothing done. All right, we teased what didn't we like coming out of Ohio State spring football. The short answer to that is not much of anything other than just for me, it was a little bit of a mash unit. So we didn't get to see like the right five or what we perceived to be the right five offensive line playing together for, consistent stretches. We didn't get to see I was curious to see how Riley Pettijohn would play in his second year in that room, but he missed a month. And so that's really hard when you think you got Peyton Pierce and Christian Allegro there. So what does that look like? I thought Devin Sanchez shined out, so I really don't have any questions about corner. It's probably just that. There isn't really anything on the offensive side of the ball that I have an ounce of concern about. Nothing other than just I didn't get to see that offensive line kind of be all together, and I'm sure that was frustrating for Ryan. I think the other thing that I didn't love coming out of spring was the running backs weren't healthy, so we didn't get a real look at what that's going to look like by the time we get to fall. But again, we got 5 weeks of fall camp to get that right. So in terms of what I didn't like coming out of it, I suppose it was just a little bit of a mash unit.
Yeah, you're disappointed by things you can't really control. The weather, the injuries. Although, did Julian and Tavian throw an interception?
Yeah, Julian's was
his was
batted.
tipped. So you don't want that. However, it's hard for me to gripe very much more than that for a spring practice.
So, and I voiced this concern yesterday. I'm extremely concerned about the depth of this offensive line. And I understand that you didn't have possibly three starters out there. I consider Josh Padilla a starter, and I don't know how they don't either after the way he performed when he came in there over Gabe Van Sickle later last year. But that offensive line not only got dominated by the starting defensive line, but it got dominated all day. And we had heard a lot about Ian Moore and a lot about Carter Lowe, and I do think that a lot of the pressure came from up the middle. But I just didn't see anybody in the second unit of the offensive line that really stood out, and that concerns me knowing what has happened the past couple of years here in the injuries on the offensive line. And you were able to, in the national championship run, move pieces around, and you were good enough to overcome 3 pretty big injuries on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. Last year, it seemed like you weren't as deep on that offensive line, and you couldn't overcome the right guard spot with Tegra Shabola trying to find someone there, some more consistency. So I am pretty concerned about what the 2 deep on this O-line looks like. And you probably don't need that many, but you're going to need 7 or 8. And I have a lot of questions about 6, 7, and 8.
Did Tiberi order the code blue? We want the truth. It's coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Spring showers revealing roofing or siding issues? Trust the pros at Newman Roofing for expert care, white glove service, and quality you can count on. Schedule your estimate today and take advantage of special financing options. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bishop and Friends present Tuesdays with Tiberi.
Sponsored by Green & Sons. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville, and online at greenandsons.com.
All right, quarters in session. The case on the docket today, a Buckeye Nation versus Dominic Lucian Tiberi.
Well, that's not, first of all, that's not my middle name.
The judge is speaking. You will hold your tongue until we have addressed the court. The Honorable Judge Bo Bishop presiding. The accusation that Dominic Tiberi was, in fact, and has been, a sleeper cell for the University of Michigan, lo these many years. And the evidence put forth here today, according to Mr. Baker, will prove that you are, in fact, a sleeper cell.
Let me ask you a
now
question.
Manufacturing. Hold, please.
Are we allowed to drink when we're at work now? Are we allowed to drink when we're at work?
Who is now manufacturing a quarterback controversy where one does not exist?
Let me tell you what. I don't know if you saw the report. I during the first half, as I told Mr. Baker over there, trying to look the best like Abe Lincoln, but he looks more like I won't say what. The controversies between his ears. Secondly, Tim May and Adam King and I, during the first half, my Twitter feed is blowing up with these people going, oh, Tavian St. Clair, there's a controversy and all this. And so afterwards I said, and let me get this out. And I put the tweet out. Look at it. There is no controversy at Ohio State. The starting quarterback is Julian Sayin. Tavian may be good down the road. I hope they don't need him this year. Well, that would mean something had to happen to Julian. But Julian Sayin is the starter. He was a Heisman finalist last year. There is no controversy. Again, I don't know where Baker was on Saturday. I don't know what he and the guru were drinking, but God bless them. Please, moonshine can make you crazy. That's all I got to say.
Mr. Tiberi, these accusations come from wall-to-wall sports.
Yeah.
That you on Wall-to-Wall Sports said, is there a quarterback controversy at Ohio State?
There is
That's what the people are saying.
I said there is no quarterback controversy.
Mr. Baker, how do you answer for yourself and your accusations?
All I can do is report what the people on Twitter
Who are the
and
people?
the people on the YouTube chat were saying.
Yeah, great. Who are the people? What did you hear?
All of them right here.
I need Tom Hagen here. And I'll tell you what. What in the world?
Tom Hagen.
You're running a circus court. You can't handle the truth, Bishop.
Bunch of kangaroos.
We tried to get audio from Adam King, but shockingly, he's still sleeping. So, no.
I don't know that Adam King would be a witness that you would want. He's notoriously not trustworthy.
Well,
now Tim May could be he'd be a nice witness
Tim
for
May,
you.
when I told Tim May, he was incredulous when I said that. And I said to Tim, and Tim goes, hey, I think you got to get some new Twitter followers because that don't make any daggum sense. Yeah, they were going crazy in the first half. It's like now everyone's disappeared because Baker's called them out and made me. I mean, you know what?
Is this a false accusation? Is that what you're saying? It's a false accusation from Mr. Baker?
Yeah, I put it out. I directed it right to him. I knew what was going on. Rothman gave me a hint. He said, hey, I just want to let you know. See, Rothman, by the way, in case you don't know, he's a dog policeman. Yes, he's a dog policeman, and he enforces the law. He's a law. That's why he's out handling all the parking issues we've got here at 10 TV.
I don't know that he's a dog policeman.
Yes, he is. He's got a dog.
Society.
He's a dog badge. He's got arrest rights.
It's not a dog badge.
He may come in here and arrest Baker for not telling the truth. He's a dog cop.
He's got a dog badge?
Yes, he does. He is a dog
No,
police
he's a
officer.
humane society. He's
Same
with the Humane
difference. Same
he's looking for. He's taking care of all the animals.
Well, I think Baker's an animal.
Baker stirred this up on you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've been called worse before.
All I know is I thought Bake was my buddy, and then all of a sudden I feel something in my back, and I didn't know what it was. There's a big knife in my back, Baker.
I love how I ask if you said anything, and all of a sudden I'm accusing you. I'm just reporting what the people said.
All I know is Officer Rothman said, man, they were killing you on radio yesterday saying that you're a Judas. You're just a Judas. And I'm going, what? And then Baker's, hey, you starting any controversies today, Dom? And I'm going, what are you talking about?
So this is directly from our YouTube chat right now, Dom.
Okay, let's
What
hear
do we
it.
have?
It says it was on Wall to Wall Saturday night. I'll admit, I think he was trying to catch ears on the show.
What?
Do we have the audio?
We're going to have to find it now.
Bake. Now I got to tell you, the court went hard on Tiberi for the accusations, but I think, quite honestly, as a prosecution, as the lead prosecution of the state, I think you've blown this a little bit to not have the audio proof.
I'm not catching any ears. I was putting out the fire that some on Twitter put out. And Baker's minions, apparently.
Was that Godfather 2 when they brought in the guy from Italy?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have.
Was it
walk
2
in
or
here
1?
Yeah,
2 or 1 when it's Michael's on trial in 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in 2.
Yeah. Brought him in his brother, and he just looked at him and goes, And then the guy said, Tom Hagen told him, he says, yeah, back in the old days, when there was an attempt on the emperor's life, and you got caught, the ringleaders, they were given a chance to go home, take a bath, and it was a good deal. Thank you, Frankie Five Angels. Not saying.
How did they? By the way, staying there for a second. Probably was the biggest miss of 3, casting Sofia Coppola, or the fact that they, as a replacement for Robert Duvall, they went George Hamilton.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That's a pretty big
downgrade. I didn't like George, but I did enjoy Godfather 3.
Me too.
I'm one of the ones that liked it.
I do too. I don't have any idea what's going on with International Immobiliare. I don't understand any of that. But
there was a lot of nonsense with the Pope in that movie.
There was.
There's a lot of nonsense, and that's what Saturday was. Nonsense.
Yeah. Well, we got to the bottom of it, though, didn't we?
Well, thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
You're innocent.
Yeah. Well,
you got 40 years.
Next thing I know, I walk in here and I'm being accused of being an amazing blue boy.
Do you think
Thank
that
God we have a guy like Rothman, the dog policeman that monitors everything, and he plays fair, and he tells it like it is, Baker.
AR, I think, could be a sleeper witness for you, Bake, in the green room. He is texting me currently, like, you might want to bring him on as your Johnny Cochran to kind of help you come in here. He's got a pretty good hypothesis of potentially what Mr. Tiberi, the defendant, did here.
How about we put the audio on and we just, wow, let's see what Dom said.
My guess is, and AR kind of led me here. I'm wondering, did you maybe in a tease say, is there a quarterback controversy at Ohio State?
All I said is there was none. If I said that, I said there is none. I don't know exactly what I said, but I was incredulous going on. I said Julian Sayans the starter.
All right. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? Speaking of Italy, I got 2 emails last week. People wanting to go with us
to Italy.
Yeah.
How many people out there would go to Italy with me and Bo? Maybe 2
on
emails,
a cruise unsolicited.
Ship? What do you think?
Yeah, people were pretty jacked up.
Can we bring Baker and make him walk the plank? Chum the waters.
That I would like to see.
Here, Bake, we chum the waters. Go in and play with the fish.
I'm not scared of sharks.
Oh, good. Okay, great. They're not scared of you either.
Here's a plank, you with a saber pushing Bake out to the edge in the middle of the Mediterranean.
Bakes, just when I thought I was out, you guys dragged me back in. I didn't know where any of this was going, Bakes. Come on. You said we share a thing. We were like close to each other.
I was trying to have your back.
Back?
Wow.
You were sticking a knife in my back, Fredo.
I just came to you for the truth. That's all.
It was you, Fredo.
It was you, Fredo. God.
It was you. It was Barzini all along, too.
Poor Fredo. Poor Fredo.
Oh,
Can't come back from that.
No,
Can't do it.
No, it's
Too tough.
it's all right, Bake. I forgive you.
Out there going for a little fish in the middle of Lake Tahoe.
5 seconds.
That's all he is.
Thank God Rothman's here because
he's arbiter of truth.
Well, he just tells the truth, Yeah. He keeps an eye on everything, and he came up, and I didn't know what he goes, man, Bo was trying to defend you, but Baker was just killing you on radio. And said Reeser was pouring gasoline on it.
I'm always here for a good poke.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. You were pouring gasoline on the fire.
Just trying to produce.
I'm here to help. I'm here. Oh, here, let me give some gas. Thanks.
I'll be damned if a reputation built over 50 years is going to go down in shambles over something said on social media, buddy. I got your back.
Thank you,
You're good.
Bo. I appreciate it, Judge.
You're good.
Judge, you've always been a great American.
That's right.
Unlike these other guys.
You remember when we put Tim May in that wig?
Yes, it looked good. He was a judge.
Incredible.
He was.
You were a great judge, but you didn't want to participate too badly. So then we had Tim May do it. He looked great.
Tim May was an incredible judge. Yeah,
he was a great judge,
and he sounded like Judge Roy Bean. Remember him?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Let's do one football note. What did you? If you could, let's do this. If you could pick one destination for the 4 Buckeyes that are going to go in the top 10, which Buckeye and what's the destination?
I hope they all go to either the Bengals or the Browns, but the Bengals don't have a pick now, so I hope they all go to the Browns. I'm hoping one of them end up in Cleveland.
Carnell?
Yeah, I'd love to see Carnell. Cool. And here's the deal. If we're really going to go with Deshaun Watson, like I'm hearing that they're going to hopefully give him another shot. And, the guy was a hot product before everything happened, but he's getting a guy that I think can play the game. And Carnell, he was pretty good for Jeremiah. I mean, he was good for Jeremiah being on the field. They both complemented each other. But Julian Sam playing catch with those guys, I think I would love to see Carnell Tate in the Cleveland. I would love to see Cleveland do something. I mean, it's as I was joking, if we could take the Bengals offense and the Browns defense, we'd have a Super Bowl team, buddy.
Yeah, it'd be right there.
Other than that, with the spring game, here's all I'll say.
Go ahead.
It was hard to tell what. I think they have some talent. I think there's some, high-quality guys they brought in. My big concern is they got to gel as a team, and I talked to Coach Day about it. There is a sense of urgency because when you bring in all these hired guns, basically, free agency, a lot of these guys, it's going to be a one-year deal. And, you've got to get them to meld. It's one thing to have talent. It's another thing to play as a team. And, Coach Mick does an incredible job of getting these guys bigger, stronger, and faster. And I love the fact that Anthony Schlegel's there now. But these guys have to get them to see the Ohio State way. But more importantly, he's going to work on their mental toughness, and he's going to help these guys become the brotherhood that they've got to be. You can have the greatest talent in the world, but if they don't play as a team, you're in trouble. And that's the thing. That's the new era, and it's uncharted waters for Ohio State. They have never been in this spot. And, Coach, really, you could tell the urgency with him after the game. Yeah. And he said, we're encouraging these guys to hang out with these guys. We're encouraging because you have to. You can't. You got to become friends overnight, I said to him. And he said, yeah, that's the new part about this game. It's new for all of us.
It is, yeah. Bunch of shotgun weddings, and you hope that they work. That's kind of where we're at in college football. Great stuff, buddy.
All right.
Innocent, as always.
Thank you. And
all right,
Mr.
buddy.
Baker, don't worry. Yours is coming.
He chose a big enemy. I mean, it's a big enemy. Thing or not a thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. New energy refreshers, only at Starbucks.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP sleep or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Welcome to the Ohio Lottery's Made from Scratch show. Today, I'm sharing how you can make dough from scratch. We're adding a dash of fun and a sprinkle of luck. Now, let's get cooking and see what we've got. And voila! A fresh batch of Ohio Lottery $5 scratch-offs. Nice.
Play aces and eights with over $20 million in cash prizes and a top prize of $150,000. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, it's important to us that when you call Pella Columbus, you talk to a real person.
You should hear how smooth it is when you call us.
You calling right now?
Yep. Oh, here we go. New windows. No. New window. Operator.
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Have you ever met a man who wins money betting on tennis? Enter Scotty Vegas. Join Scotty and Dave Biddle for On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Sunday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
Oh, man. Well, that was a fun break. A lot of AR back and forth. A lot of fun. Time for a little thing or not a thing. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin's got a new gig. The Athletic's Andrew Marchand is reporting Tomlin's going to join NBC as a studio analyst for the network's pregame show Football Night in America ahead of Sunday Night Football this fall. Marchand also noted that Fox was initially the favorite to land Tomlin because of his relationship with Jay Glazer and the fact the network had not replaced Jimmy Johnson, but he ends up at NBC. Thing or not a thing?
Jimmy Johnson's out at Fox. This was his last year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
On that pregame show? I did not know. I didn't realize that. I don't watch any of those anymore. The one, just, it's not for me. There's just not enough info for it. If you really want real football stuff, there's places to get it now. They're all tasked with saying something in 6 seconds and on to the next. So the one I do watch, though, because it's kind of, you eat Sunday dinner and you're leading in for Sunday Night Football. And so sometimes I will watch that pregame show. And so what will the lineup then be? Because Dungy's out. So will it be Maria Taylor? Who else is part of that?
So it'd be
group?
Taylor, Chris Sims. My mind just went blank on is it a McCourty?
One of the McCourtys.
One of the McCourtys. And then
is Rodney
Tomlin.
Harrison still there or not?
He might be part of it still. I don't remember. I thought he got replaced by McCourty, though.
As of right now, I think Harrison's still part of it.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be, what's pretty interesting about this is Mike is really good. Have we ever seen Mike, just be himself? I assume he's himself all the time in press conferences, but, how is it? I mean, can he be charming? He's pretty intense. There's a lot of great people who are great coaches who have tried to go this route and haven't been good at it. Gruden was probably the best at it of the guys who did it that went before, other than Madden, obviously. I don't know. I'm interested to see how he does at this because he's always so intense every time you see him.
So, Bo, I'm similar with you. If I'm watching before the games kick at 1, I usually just put it on NFL Network as I'm doing stuff for background noise in the house. But the games end at whatever it ends at 7:15, 7:20, 7:30 on Sunday night, and you just flip it over to 4 while you're getting dinner ready or whatever and doing a couple things before the Sunday night game. So the NBC one is probably the show that I watch the most. And
same.
Tomlin's going to kill this, I think. Tomlin's going to be ridiculously good. He's going to have fun. He's going to get his joy back for the game. If he ever lost it, I'm sure maybe he didn't. And then he's going to have his choice of jobs the following year and go somewhere and be super successful as a coach again. But it's going to be fun, I bet, having him for 1 year on TV.
Maybe he doesn't go back. Maybe this is a Cowher situation where it's man, $5 million a year and this is all I got to do? Hang out with some dudes and watch some football? I don't have to deal with the rest of it? His record kind of speaks for itself. I mean, is he a Hall of Famer?
Tomlin? I think yes.
So the one that you...
I think so.
Super Bowl.
All right, so...
Where is he on the all-time wins?
All right. Okay, here we go. So let's use Cowher as the doppelganger. Cowher went 149, 90, and 1 in his time in Pittsburgh. So 149, 91, 62% winning percentage, and he won a Super Bowl. Do you have Tomlin's?
I got Tomlin 193 wins, 114 career losses, 2 career ties, so it's a 628 win percentage, and just the lone Super Bowl.
Same thing with Cowher. So if Cowher's a Hall of Famer, then
Tomlin's
so
tied.
Tomlin.
Tomlin's
He's got 50
tied with
more wins.
Chuck Noll on the all-time wins list. They look up at Marty Schottenheimer, Paul Brown, Curly Lambeau, Tom Landry, Andy Reid, Belichick, George Halas, and Don Shula.
Good Lord.
That's the list that Tomlin's
so
with.
Yeah, he is absolutely a Hall of Famer. How old is he? 54. Holy cow. I mean, he could
pick his job.
Yeah, and he could put himself in a position. All-time wins it's in the 320s, isn't it? So he'd need another 15-year run.
Yeah, Shula's 328.
328. So you need, bad at math, 135 wins to get there. Thereabout. So, yeah, it's not crazy. I'll be curious to see how he does at this.
In an appearance Monday on the Pat McAfee Show, PGA Tour CEO Brian Rolap said they'll consider additional pathways for LIV golfers to rejoin the tour. Five-time major champion Brooks Koepka and 2018 Masters champ Patrick Reed left LIV Golf before their season started to rejoin the PGA. Rolap told McAfee, quote, "We're listening and reading all the same headlines you're listening and reading. We don't know what's going on over there. We know those guys are under contract. We'll respect that." Bryson DeChambeau, Jon Rahm, and Cameron Smith were eligible to return to the tour under the returning member program, but that deadline expired back in February. Rolap, who was a former NFL media exec, also said, quote, I think what LIV did was expose some things that maybe the PGA Tour could do better. How we make it better for fans, how we make it better for professional golfers, how we can make it better for our television partners. That's a good thing, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
Here's what they'll do. They will make it relatively painless, it'll be more painful than it was for Koepka and Reed, but they'll make it relatively painless for DeChambeau, Rahm, and Cam Smith. And everybody else can kick rocks. That's what they'll do. Because the PGA Tour will be better. I don't know if Cam Smith, none of those guys move the needle. LIV proved that. But DeChambeau and Rahm are stars. All those guys have won majors, obviously. They will find a way to get the right golfers back, and everybody else we'll see on down the road. That's what they're going to do on this thing.
I think this is dumb. I know most people disagree with me, but just let them all back. If it's gone, let them back. It makes your game better, and you just admitted all of this made your tour better. It made you do things better for the fans, and it made you do things better for the golfers.
There has to be a punishment, though, Bake.
No, there doesn't. Come on.
Yes, there does. Of course there does. Because otherwise, what were the guys who stayed? Why did they do it? They all could have taken the money.
And they all should have. They all should have went.
Then we don't have a memorial tournament if they do that.
I get what you're saying, but they weren't offering all of them.
Who's playing? If all of them got no, but if Rory, Spieth, Justin Thomas, if all of those guys left, and we're watching a bunch of college golfers on the PGA Tour, what's left?
And the PGA would have done more things to keep them, right? Just like they did, they added some things.
I think it was teetering.
So, I just let them back. It makes your product better. If you want to slap them on the wrist.
You got to
slap them on the wrist, but come on.
Yeah, they will. That's what I said. They're going to make it right, but they're going to make it a little painful, and I think, quite honestly, they should. They took the money, all of those guys, and especially Rahm, after was so vocal that he was never going to, then he did. NFL draft in 2 days. What exactly are the Browns' plans at number 6 and beyond? Maybe even at quarterback. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked to 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
It worked once, so we're doing it again. Sign up now for the Fan 5K, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. We're back at Otterbein on Saturday, June 20th. Walk a mile with the Common Man, jog a 5K with T-Bone, or try to beat Tyvis in a 40-yard dash. Tyvis won't stretch, so there's a chance he pulls something. The fun starts at 8 a.m. Saturday, June 20th. Register today and earn a sweet medal, race T-shirt, and a photo op at the finish line. Sign up at 971therace.com. Prepare your tightest running clothes, and we'll see you at the Fan 5K on June 20th.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day. The heat is on its way, and my AC's not brand new. How can I make sure it cools like it's supposed to?
I recommend a tune-up to you and every caller. Experience true comfort for $53.
Get an AC tune-up for $53.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Fall is the season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leaf with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with an opportunity again this year. In case you haven't taken advantage of it in the past, take this chance to drop 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? To make it easier, Awaken 180 has launched Reclaim by Awaken 180. Reclaim is a simple 10-week plan designed to help you reach your weight and health goals. A beginning, an end, and a real finish line. It's not eventually. Makes sense, right? I dropped my 45 pounds in 10 weeks and 5 more in free maintenance. Reclaim by Awaken 180 comes at the perfect time for you to reach your 40 pounds by the 4th and then keep it off with free support for life. Any medication, diet, or workout plan will say you'll see results. But how many say in 10 weeks you'll be a new version of yourself, thanking the old you, the one that made the call to Awaken 180? 40 by the 4th and keep it off, medication free. Do what Beamer did, Berm did, and I did. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $20 on your first Kroger pickup or delivery order of $75 or more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raisetheroof. 10tv.com/raisetheroof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The college basketball transfer portal closes today on the men's side. Former OSU guard Colin White's committed to Akron. Former Buckeye center Christoph Tilley has entered the transfer portal. Adam Jardy of the Dispatch says Tilley is out of eligibility but is waiting to see if the NCAA changes their eligibility rule to allow for a 5th year. Ohio State's picked up 3 new players out of the portal, including former Duquesne guard Jimmy Williams. In NBA news, Billy Donovan has stepped down as head coach of the Bulls. The 60-year-old Donovan made the playoffs just once in 6 seasons with Chicago. On Monday, Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama became the youngest and only unanimous defensive player of the year. The 22-year-old Wembanyama is a finalist for league MVP, along with Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In baseball, the Reds look for 5 straight, playing the Rays down in Tampa tonight at 6:40. You can hear that game on The Fan following the Buckeye Show. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union for the last 8 years by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org to learn more.
Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
This is pretty good about from Blue Jacks on the punish and the live guys. He goes, you want to punish the live guys? Well, there's 37 tournaments in a PGA season. So if you want to come back, you do your first 37 PGA Tour starts with a 3-stroke penalty. And if that hurts your tour earnings, well, that live money should keep you warm. I like the creativity of that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, it throws...
Start with a 3-stroke penalty.
Yeah, the money thing isn't what any of these guys are playing for and at this point. They're just playing because they're competitors and they want to play in front of people and they want to play for things that matter. And while the money is great, they didn't play for anything that mattered because live didn't matter.
No.
Not from a competitive standpoint. It was supposed to change golf. The team golf thing never took.
No, it didn't. It didn't. And I do think they were, to Bake's point, I do think there were some things that it forced the hand of the PGA Tour to do that were the right things in terms of the purses that were on tour. And some of that had to be addressed. And I think that it was. We just saw this over the weekend you guys saw this with the live down in Mexico City. DeChambeau just withdrew.
He missed
He's like, I'm not hitting from here. He's like, I'm out. Because he was worried about what? It was the rough that he had a problem with or the sand trap?
He had a problem with all
withdrew.
of it. There was a putt that he missed, and he just looked incredulously at, I forget what he was looking at, but it was one of those things to where he almost blamed it on everything else but the man with the putter.
Yeah.
And the golf ball.
Yeah. And I think the thing you have to consider with all of that is how close they got.
Didn't they infuse the PGA Tour with cash at one point? And wasn't there discussion, I could be misremembering this, that they were going to just straight up buy the PGA Tour?
Yeah, there was that. They were going to do a partnership that was brokered.
Jay Monahan had a hand in it, right?
Yeah, there was a partnership that they were going to kind of merge the two at one point. But if you go back when all of this happened, if Tiger Woods would have gone and took the $1 billion, if Rory would have taken the $500 million, hell, I mean, they approached Jack first. They wanted him to be the boss of it. Like if they would have done those, if those guys would have taken that money, then I don't know what would have been left, and that would have sucked. Because it would not have been because if those guys go, then everybody goes. At that point, they all would have gone, and they all would have chased the money. And they attempted to buy golf, and some people held firm. And now they've all been enriched because the PGA Tour changed, and that part's real. Like the PGA Tour had to make adjustments, and they did, and it's better now than it used to be, certainly. But at the same time, it was dicey. It was dicey for several moments. One other thing, you mentioned this in we'll do the Browns thing coming up at 11:17 in terms of their mini camp and a couple of quarterbacks talking up there and all of that, what they could do in the draft. You mentioned Billy Donovan stepping down with the Chicago Bulls. Just think about, so that's 2 weeks after Carolina hires McDonald.
Yep.
He was the one that they wanted, apple of their eye, right? You think about Bill Self, it was in question, like, is he going to come back at Kansas? And he said, yeah, I'm going to come back. But they are not going to have a great year down there. Their entire roster was purged. And so he's trying to scramble and put it back together. He's got a couple of freshmen, but they're not going to be a team of consequence next year at the top of the sport. So does Bill Self say, finally, I've had enough? The point of all this is next season, Billy Donovan's shadow is going to be all over all of it.
TikTok, Mark Pope.
Mark Pope thought about that in Kentucky, Kansas.
He's 60.
Yeah.
He's got one more job. I would firmly believe he's got one more job.
And is that in college or is that in the NBA? I think it would have to be college.
He can command. I mean, because he was successful with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Didn't go great with the Bulls, but it felt like, because the Chicago's completely cleaned house. Like, they've removed everybody from their front office. And now Billy Donovan's stepping down. So they're doing a complete refresh with everything. It's probably the right thing for them to do. But Donovan had immense success, obviously, we know, at Florida, and was really good with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then went to Chicago in 2020, and it didn't work out. And he can now turn around and go back to the SEC and command.
If he wants.
Yeah, he can.
I mean, he'll be able to have any job he wants.
And what if Golden leaves Florida? What if he goes to Kentucky?
Do you think guys like that, I mean, I'll put Urban in that company too, in terms of how much do they consider legacy with these type of decisions? Like if Billy Donovan, it's been a long time since he's been at Florida, well over a decade since he's been at Florida. Do you think he could coach we don't know what's inside a man's head, but like, do you think that you consider your legacy at Florida, like if Kentucky calls you? Because that'd be the one place that Florida people would be like, not there. That would be the one. So that was a pretty heated rivalry in the 2000s when Billy was there. Like, could he go coach on the other side of it? It's not exactly Urban coaching Michigan, but it's probably Urban coaching Penn State or Oregon. It's not their most hated situation ever, but it's up there. Like, do you consider that if you're Billy Donovan?
Yeah.
Because I think the court is named after him at Florida.
It doesn't take away. For me, it wouldn't take away. I mean, I guess I'm not a Florida fan, so I don't have any perspective with this. But anything's on the table, especially if the money's right.
I started to think it's been a really long time, and maybe not, but how would we feel, like you just said, if Urban would have been the guy that Penn State hired just now?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I think it would be a pretty gross taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I also don't know if these guys care about that stuff. Like, I know Urban cared about his legacy at Florida and that it wasn't great, and he wanted to repair that. I don't know if Billy Donovan cares about that, or what amount or how many zeros on the check would make him not care about that.
It's going to take a lot because he's been compensated very richly, Bake, to your point, for a very, very long time. It absolutely has factored into Urban. Not that he'd want to get into this cesspool now anyway. I mean, he's had all the success. He's doing great. Doesn't need it. Doesn't want it in his life. But there's no question that he considered, like, how will I be remembered in Columbus if I go take another job? Like, if Texas were to offer him $200 million over 10 years or whatever to take that job, and it was some sort of generational wealth that you can't really put into perspective, he would be concerned about how he's thought here. I know that for a fact. And I know what happened at Florida really hurt him. Like, the fact that he worked hard. Like, when he was done coaching here, you started seeing him at Florida games. Like, it bugged him. I mean, he won 2 national titles at Florida. 2 of them. He had Tebow. He recruited Tebow. Spurrier coached at South Carolina. He's welcomed back with open arms. Urban won 2 titles, recruited Tebow, and had to, like, go prove he was worthy of being a Gator. He didn't compete against him every time. I think Billy would be aware of that. And I don't think it could be at Kentucky. I don't know if it could even be at Kansas. Honestly, like, a place, and I'm not wishing this into existence, but a job like this one, or like one at UCLA or USC, a place like that where it's not a traditional basketball, not something you have to see all the time, those would be the type of gigs that I think would be appealing to him.
Golden State's going to be open if Steve Kerr decides to step down. So maybe
would he want that rebuild, though? That's a start over.
What would be a harder build? A college basketball program, or a year-to-year college basketball program is what it feels like, or starting over in the NBA with the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the NBA is probably harder now.
Bo, you mentioned those programs, and I was thinking about that, like Rick Pitino going to a traditional basketball school that has been down.
Yep.
So, like, if Mick Cronin, for some reason, got off to a bad start and UCLA got rid of him, Billy Donovan going out there and being the perfect fit. If for some reason, I'm trying to think of who else would be a good one in there, but something like
USC would have that feel to it. They don't have the traditional.
Like if a Villanova switch coaches, or
he could do the other thing too. He could just like go to Providence where he played, and just say, "I want to coach my alma mater." I mean, he could do that. I mean, that's essentially, not exactly, but that's a little bit Pitino St. John's. Now, he doesn't have a Mike Rapoli. I don't know of one at Providence, but maybe that would be a situation where the point is he can do anything, but I do think he will be legacy leaning and trying to make sure that things remain very good at Florida. I mean, his name's on the court, for God's sakes. What will the Browns do at number 6? What is their plan at quarterback? 2 of their 3 quarterbacks are talking today. Why not all 3? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey there, friends. High Bank isn't just award-winning whiskey. They also make the best vodka in America. With 3 Central Ohio locations serving scratch-made food and craft cocktails, High Bank is perfect for date night, game day, or drinks with friends. Learn more at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Common Man here for Germain Volkswagen. Right now, you get $3,000 over Kelly Blue Book on your trade during the Germain Trade and Upgrade Sales Event at both Germain Volkswagen of Columbus and Germain Volkswagen of Westerville. Plus, during Volkswagen Driver Days, interest rates can't get any lower on the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas and the 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan. Available to qualified customers on approved credit through Volkswagen Financial Services. See dealer for full details. Get started now at GoGermain.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. By now you know my good feet story. But the point I try to get across is that it's an ongoing one for me. For as long as I can remember, it's always been about my lower back. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it's been an absolute game changer. I feel better. They take all the stress off my back. I feel supported and aligned, and you don't hear me complain about it the way I used to. I could feel the difference instantly, and I didn't have to wait to feel that difference. Once I got fitted, popped them in my shoes, took the test walk around the store, and now on a daily basis, everything feels better. And that's what I mean about an ongoing story. This journey to feeling more comfortable makes everything better. You can make an appointment online or just stop into the Good Feet store in Grove City or the one on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, and their experts will personally fit you. Then do what I did. Take a test walk around, and you will feel the difference. Do your feet a favor. Get started at goodfeet.com.
Think you know Buckeye football? These two say, hold my beer. The Beat with Austin and Berm.
Sponsored by the Waterworks.
Daily on the Fan's YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment means you could miss everything happening around you. Don't let those few seconds take your attention away from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny today and much warmer with breezy winds and highs in the mid to upper 70s. And then for tonight, chances of showers and storms overnight with our lows down into the 50s. For Wednesday, chances of showers and storms the first half of the day, otherwise expected to be partly sunny with highs in the mid to low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, up in Cleveland today, 2:20. Two of the three quarterbacks on the Browns roster are going to meet with the media, Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. Would have been nice to hear from Deshaun Watson on all of this as well. If two of them are going to talk, he probably ought to as well. It's clean slate for all of them. I think what's going to be the one I'm really curious about is Gabriel. I mean, Shedeur's talked. It's been abundantly clear. He's pretty vocal on social, and he's around all the time. And I think you know what you're kind of going to get on that thing. I'm very curious to hear what Dylan Gabriel has to say at that availability coming up at 2:20. I think that one's going to be very interesting to see just what he thinks of all the things that are going on here, and what will be, I think of your Todd Monken, and he's been pretty intentional with the way he's talked about the quarterbacks, and he always talks about all three of them, and he throws Dylan kind of in at the end. But I think most people assume that this is a Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders competition for the starting quarterback job of the Cleveland Browns. And if that is the case, how does Todd manage that through the offseason program? Like, I'm curious, they'll hit the field today, and the reason they're able to do it, every team that hired a new coach gets this extra mini camp. That's what today is. It's today, tomorrow, and Thursday are the 3 days where you can have a little mini camp, which I don't recall ever. I've been around the NFL since 2018. I don't recall ever doing this. But I guess the last time the Browns would have been able to do it would have been 2020, and that was COVID, so they didn't do any of this type of stuff because that was the year they hired Kevin Stefanski. So when you get a new coach, you get all of these kind of free practices, free mini camps. They're all voluntary, but you get them, and they're going to be able to throw the pill around a little bit up there today. So you'll see those quarterbacks throwing it around. I think there's some 7-on-7. I'm not sure if there's 11-on-11, but there's some 7-on-7 stuff that they're going to be able to do. So kind of real football stuff. And I think it'll be interesting to see which one goes first. Who gets that first throw to Jerry Jeudy?
Oh, boy.
Which one's it going to be? Because if there's not a coaching change, I don't know if Deshaun Watson's in the mix. Not that there was anything personal between Kevin and Deshaun, but it just felt like there was kind of a path there. And now with Monken, it's clean slate for everybody. They're all starting at ground zero.
Yeah, the owner come out and say that. So, and I do think that's the right way to handle it. I think with everything that's been done for this organization since Monken stepped in has been the right move, because none of this was his choice except to take the job. And those I wonder if you just make it an alphabetical thing. Gabriel,
Dylan
Sanders,
first.
Watson, right? And you just keep it simple.
GSW.
Keep it simple on day one, or the reverse alphabetical thing. I'm with you. I wonder why Gabriel and Shedeur go, and they're going to let Deshaun not speak. Because I also think for the three of them, how things are going is important. And I think how, especially for Monken in year one, this doesn't need to be a go out and light the world on fire, but go out and prove that there's a path forward for a Browns offense that you have no idea what the hell it's going to look like. And that starts at the quarterback. That also you have no idea what the hell it's going to look like.
No, I haven't seen Deshaun in forever. Play football.
I kind of understand. I don't think it's just let them all talk, but I kind of get why they're not having Deshaun out there talking. You would think in past, just like seniority, Deshaun would be the guy that started out, but he hasn't played in so long. And Shedeur was the guy that ended last year as your quarterback, so you could see why he would be first. It's all fascinating, and I wonder if any of it is like it. I wonder if it'll be just totally random who goes out there first today, or if there is something you can kind of glean from that.
I'm always a believer of all the pieces matter, Bake.
Yeah.
I think they all do. I reject the notion when coaches come in and say, oh, it doesn't matter. No, somebody had to go first. In your life, have you ever competed for anything with another person, for a position, for a job, for an anything, and found that when a coach says somebody had to go first, it didn't matter?
Yeah, it usually matters.
It always matters. Yes, there's prejudice. Of course there is. You're going to have things in your head about how you think it ought to look. The crazy thing, don't even think about this. Which one of these three quarterbacks, you guys are both Browns fans, which one of these three quarterbacks could you talk them into having a top 15 offense behind? Because that's what it would take. Right? If they're somewhere between 15 and 20 in offense and their defense stays where it is, top 5, if they're between 15 and 20 in offense, they can contend in the AFC North.
Yeah, Shedeur.
Shedeur for you?
It's probably Shador, even though I don't think it is.
None of these options are great, Baker, but of the three, yeah.
I mean, you've seen Deshaun Watson do it before, at least.
It's been so long.
It's been a long time.
And 2 surgically repaired Achilles.
Yeah.
So
same offseason.
With a quarterback that when you got him, you were like, this guy can move everywhere. Now you don't know what that looks like.
I'm trying to remember the chronology of this. So that Achilles injury happened in the 2024 season. In the 7th game of the 2024 season, I think.
That sounds right.
And then he re-injured it in December, I think. I'm trying to do this all.
That was when the news came out that he re-injured it, but I don't know if we ever got to the when that exactly happened.
No, I don't know that we did either. I don't know if that ever came out. And then he sat all of last year, but remember he was cleared to go in like December. So he's been full clear for months now. So this is pretty wild. The last time he played 16 games was 2020. The 2020 season was the last time he played 16 games. He sat out all of 21. Then he was suspended the first 10 games of 22. He went 3-3 in 22 as the starter. 58% completion, which was way down. I mean, his Houston completion percentages were 62, 68, 67, 70. He led the league. They went 4-12. In 2020, he led the league in passing. He had the highest rating, 112.4, 48-23, 70% completions, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. That was his last year in Houston. Now, they went 4-12. The 2 years before that, they went 11-5, 10-5. His record in Cleveland is 9-10. Overall, his completion percentage is around 62%, is kind of what it is. I forgot that in 2023, like some of these years just kind of run together for me, guys. In 2023, he went 5-1 as the starter in 2023. So, yeah, I get it from Todd's standpoint for sure. To Baker's point, like we've seen him be elite in the league. We have. The Shador thing is the ball of clay here? I mean, I describe Shador for the Browns as a lottery ticket. This is a 5th-round pick who had first-round grade talent. Obviously, we've been through it a million times. Something was off in the draft process in terms of him and NFL, whatever. On the field last year, there were glimmers of, oh, he's getting it sorted out. But there were also a bunch of, oh, no, you can't do that. So that's the thing that I think is intriguing about him. Dylan was very solid, but I think the people feel, and it's probably fair, that there is a ceiling to what that can be. So they really have 3 very, very different choices at quarterback. You have the ultimate rehabilitation piece in Deshaun Watson. Massive rehabilitation piece. You have a ball of clay in Shador that's first-round talent, but certainly some peccadillos when it comes to the mistakes and all of that. And then you have Gabriel, who's there's a ceiling on. So to me, what I think would be a very interesting real truth is if you could get, and Todd would never do this, and I would never want him to do this as someone who works for the Browns, but like what I would be curious about is how does he view those 3? Honestly. What is his job this year with those 3? Is his job to win football games the surest way possible? Because that might elicit a different answer than if the objective is something else.
Can they do anything this week, the 3 quarterbacks that we've been talking about, can they do anything to prevent or to preclude the Browns from taking a quarterback this weekend? Or are the Browns already going to go in and grab somebody?
I think if the Browns take a quarterback in this draft, guys, it will be like a Drew Aller in the 5th round or
Does
4th round.
That say anything about the quarterbacks that are in the room, or is that just because they'd like another arm to compete?
My hunch would be, and this isn't scores because there are no scores up there. I mean, they're pretty tight-lipped on all this stuff. My hunch would be if they did something like that, like a 3rd, 4th round quarterback, that you would jettison one of the guys that are in your room. Because if you're drafting Aller, that's a lot like drafting Shador last year. If they did that. I mean, that's a lottery ticket, right? Drew Aller has first-round talent. He's got first-round size. Had he gone out last year before they played Notre Dame, he might have been a first-round pick. He didn't. It didn't go well at Penn State this year. But all the all the measurables are still there. If they drafted somebody like that, then that would tell me that one of the other 3 quarterbacks on this roster won't be there. You can't go into August with 4 quarterbacks again, all needing reps and all trying to get developed. Can't. They can't do that. So if they draft one of these guys is gone, I would say. And you can't move Watson. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way that would go. I think the draft, in many ways, kind of starts with what they do at 6. And do they take on a trade? Do they stay there and draft? Is it line? Is it receiver? How do they handle that? I think is going to be very, very fascinating. The quarterback situation in Pittsburgh is getting a little bit of clarity. We'll get the answer to that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
This spring, take a break from interest with 0% financing for up to 60 months on new 2026 Tucsons. 0%. Go now, Columbus or Dublin or GLakesHyundai.com. With approved credit ends 430.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Baths R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Baths R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
We have made our community a very important part of our business. One of the things that many people may not realize is that I was born and raised in Columbus. Our plant is in Columbus. All of our employees are from Ohio. And the community hears about all this stuff. And so the community trusts us.
Visit Rosati Windows by the end of this month and get 35% off all windows and doors.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
So we were talking about the Browns and the new coach and the extra mini camp and all of these things. It was jarring to me at the Combine. It's jarring when you hear Tomlin going to Sunday Night Football, which happened today, that he's going to be one of the studio analysts for Sunday Night Football. And it's jarring when you see images from Pittsburgh and see Mike McCarthy as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just jarring. Now, it's going to take some getting used to. And there's a lot of these, like John Harbaugh in Giants gear. It's just got a different look to it. Like we've just been so used to seeing these guys coach these teams, and the idea that Zach is the one in that division that somehow remains is pretty wild. I've said it. I really believe that you're going to get an answer on Aaron Rodgers. I think he knows he's coming back, and I think you'll get it. Bake, you had this on Monday, right? Was it Florio? Or who leaked that?
It was Florio.
Yeah, and he's pretty tied in with that operation that Rodgers was talking about doing something at the draft on Thursday to kind of say, hey, yeah, I'm coming back. I'm curious, how would Steeler fans view that? Do they want him back?
I wonder, yes, relative to what's out there.
Yeah, it's what are your options?
I don't know if you asked at the end of last season, hey, if you could go and get another free agent quarterback, or you could try your luck at the 26th NFL draft, if Steeler fan would rather have Rodgers than what else is out there, and possibly quarterback in the draft, because the earliest I saw Ty Simpson being mocked in the first round was 21 to Pittsburgh. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's at least a step in the direction that's not 40-plus-year-old quarterback who's good.
So last year, Rodgers was 66% completions, 33-22, 24 touchdowns, 7 picks, and a rating of 94.8. It was a lot of check down Charlie.
It's good.
Like, you remember that last game against, like, they were not letting Miles break that record. The ball was out in a half second. Miles didn't get near him. Pittsburgh's kind of in this nowheresville right now. And I wonder if Steelers fans were hoping for, like, a complete reset. Like, let's pick high in the draft. And, by the way, ownership there said, no, we're not wasting years.
Sure did.
Not having it. We're not wasting years. Every year you're not competing for a championship, you're wasting a year. That's what they said. So you go with McCarthy, you get aggressive as they have in trade and free agency, and you bring Rodgers back. But there's a ceiling on that, I would think. Like, if you're a Steelers fan, can you convince yourself that you can win the North with Rodgers and McCarthy? Probably can. I could talk myself into that. Now, the next step is the thing that they've been waiting for, which is, if you're a Steelers fan, can you talk yourself into this roster with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy? Can you talk yourself into this being a Super Bowl contender? That, I think, is a much more difficult conversation.
Yeah, that's a no in terms of Super Bowl.
Right?
But AFC North, because 3 new coaches, I still think the biggest question in the NFL is Joe Burrow's health. And if that can be answered positively, then the Bengals. If it's negatively, then it's everybody else's game in the AFC North. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's with Rodgers, yeah, you can probably win the division just because of who they are and all of the things, and they just don't lose over there. But there's also a ceiling on it, and I wonder if you're a Steelers fan, would you prefer just a reset? And they didn't get one. And they're not going to get one. Ownership doesn't want one. I think on the Ty Simpson front, if they go there, that tells you what they think of Will Howard. If you have a scenario where they go Simpson in the first round, then and by the way, Will was a 6th-round pick, guys. This wasn't something where, this is a flyer on a guy who's got some measurables, and that's really all that is. But he is going to get the first snaps. They're having that mini camp over there, the same one that the Browns are having, because they have a new coach, and they're having that mini camp over there, and Howard's going to get the first snaps. So he'll be your backup.
Think it almost for Pittsburgh, it's anybody but Mason Rudolph as your backup. Like, that's at least a step in the right direction in terms of turning it all around from a franchise that's had so much up all over the place quarterback play since Ben Roethlisberger.
They love Mason. They love him in Pittsburgh.
Tomlin did.
It's their safe blanket.
He has. They brought him back at every opportunity.
He loved Mason Rudolph.
So I'm looking at the RLAD site is just the best for college and pro kids. If you're looking for something to just give you an idea of where the talent is, where the new faces are, who's in the mix. If you pull up Pittsburgh on their RLADs right now, so they add Michael Pittman Jr. at receiver. So now they got Metcalf, Pittman, and Roman Wilson. All right, now you're talking. At tight end, they have Darnell Washington, who's still there. Pat Freiermuth's still there. Okay, now you're talking. At running back, they have Jalen Warren, who never really realized his full potential. I was surprised at Caleb Johnson's rookie year. I was shocked. I think stunning bake. I think they held that fumble when he screwed up. Was it a punt or kick return when he screwed up?
I believe it was a kick return, yeah.
He didn't field it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think they just held that against him. I thought he would be an instant impact guy.
I did too. I thought that was a perfect Pittsburgh Steeler pick.
Yeah, and so much so that not only did he not gain their trust last year, they go out and get Rico Dowdle in free agency. So he's well down the depth chart there. But if you put Rodgers on that operation, right now they have Mason Rudolph as the number 1 quarterback because he's the only one under contract, and then Howard behind him. But defensively, they're running everybody back. Cam's coming back. TJ's coming back. Patrick Queen's back. Alex Highsmith's back. Porter Jr. Jalen Ramsey at free safety. They added Jamel Dean at corner from Tampa. This is the look of a team that thinks that they can compete. And again, I think Pittsburgh's just way too smart to go into this draft in 2 days without knowing what Rodgers is doing. I just believe that they know.
Everything you've screamed, though, feels like they're going to win a lot of 10-7 ball games because of Boswell.
Yeah.
It'll be the same exact results as last year, where they have no business, they have nothing going offensively, but they're in it close, and Boswell.
They should be better offensively. I mean, you've added Pittman, you've added Dowdle. You should be able to run it. They should be better.
What was the story? Broderick Jones, he got a really unfavorable diagnosis earlier this week, their left tackle.
I missed that.
Affect what they do.
Okay.
With the draft.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like he's had a setback from whatever injury.
With his neck injury,
he had. Yeah.
limited. Nothing's changed in neck injury recovery, according to the Tribune.
Okay. I saw this story, speaking of Will Howard, the story at Yahoo that last year, Will Howard and Riley Leonard both made more as college players than they did as NFL draft picks. Both were 6th-round picks. Riley Leonard telling The Athletic, I'm definitely making less with the Colts. You see the numbers flying around college football. That money's doubled since I've been there. Riley, last year with the Colts, it was a 4-year, $4.1 million contract. $1.1 million of it was paid annually. Both those guys were over $2 million at their college posts at Notre Dame and at Ohio State. And now those numbers are 4.5 and 5 for a starting quarterback. Howard in this piece tells a really interesting story about how he didn't need the money at Kansas State, and so he didn't really press them to get more, and then makes the allegation that in his last year at Kansas State, because they had paid the other quarterback, that the other quarterback got the reps instead of him. And then when he hit the free agent market, he was like, oh, this is quite a bit different when you're actually wanted, that because he didn't hold Kansas State's feet to the fire in terms of compensation, he wasn't treated the same. And then he gets to Ohio State and it all changes. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're the belle of the ball. Here's your $2 million. Here's your apartment, your Ford Bronco, and let's go. It's a really interesting piece about that. We always wonder about that in college sports. You think about guys being thrust into a spot. Remember, that's always a part of this NIL thing. Who paid them, what they paid them, and do they want to see them play? And the answer to that is yes, they do. You tell me I got to pay $2.5–3 million for a player? He better play. $2 million for a quarterback? I want to see him play.
It feels like a bargain.
Yeah,
the biggest programs in the country, especially if you come in and you're week one starter and you're really kind of the alpha of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, he became the alpha of that team.
I think it was. Go ahead, Becky.
I was going to say, I think that's interesting, too, because you had heard a lot of people that were against the move of Will Howard to
Riley
Ohio
Leonard
State.
They wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, just that people were like, oh, that's no big deal. Like
right.
People that were not Ohio State fans or whatever and against that move, they had all said, well, he had lost his job to Avery Johnson anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
It's interesting to hear.
Yeah, that maybe that played a part in it. And yes, as I understand it, Leonard was their first call, but they were a little too late on that, and he was already locked in with the Irish.
Worked out for everybody?
I think Will Howard will go down. I mean, he's never going to have to pay for a drink or a meal in this town again. He's a Buckeye legend. He was here for barely a year, and he's cemented forever.
Leonard got the Irish to a national championship.
Yeah, everybody kind of won. Everybody kind of won with it. We'll get you 3 things on a Tuesday coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new energy refreshers, strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. New energy refreshers, only at Starbucks.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit SleepBetterColumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Friday, May 1st, the Columbus Aviators take the field at 8 p.m. and the first 5,000 fans score a Jim Tressel bobblehead. Get your tickets at UFLaviators.com.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. based on individual members' experiences. Results may vary.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Have you lost your energy? Not feeling it in the bedroom anymore? It could be your testosterone, even if you're a woman. Synergenics and Low T Center are offering free testosterone testing for both men and women. Stop by or book today at fixmylowt.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. As a longtime homeowner, I know how it goes when it comes to things that need to be fixed around the house and you just haven't gotten to them. Like maybe that leaky faucet that always has a drip. You think about it, but you never take care of it, and now it's just a part of the house. It's character. Maybe it's your windows that are always sticking and you can't get them open. So you just don't think about it. Who cares? Except now the weather's nice. You want to open the windows, and again, you can't because they're not fixed. Get new windows from Window Nation. They've made it easy to get top quality custom fit windows with their the more you buy, the more you save sale. You could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. Did you know investing in your home is actually one of the best investments you can make, especially in uncertain times? Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. Energy efficient, beautiful windows from Window Nation with great deals going on now. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. It asks, now that Penn State's officially off the schedule on a regular basis, who's the biggest rival for Ohio State outside of that team up north? Your options are Oregon, Indiana, Penn State, or other. 47% say it's Oregon, 25% say Indiana, 21% still say Penn State, 8% say other.
That's a good one. I heard the guys talking about this morning. There was a Josh Pate clip where he landed on Oregon as the rival for Ohio State and drew kind of the same parallels between Ryan before he won the title and Dan before he won the title at Oregon. You know what would be a fun exercise? Maybe we do this tomorrow. What would be a fun exercise is to rank the games on next year's schedule you want to win the most. Because when you, and I'm obviously Michigan would always be number one, but next year's schedule is so interesting. To be a rival, you have to have taken something from me. Like Indiana took something. And you guys know how I feel about the state.
I can't think of anything.
It's
Oregon's.
pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Well, that's the coach. Here's the state.
I have absolutely nothing I want to do in Indiana.
That's it. That's me right there. So
it's probably Indiana.
It probably is. I also understand. Tyvis made a great point. This morning he was talking about how, look, Oregon has more money than you. They recruit the same players as you. They actually try to flip your guys in recruiting. Like, they're probably the bigger threat to the way you go about your business. And they beat you 2 out of the last 3 times. Brother Bone made that point.
Mm-hmm.
This will be an issue. Well, maybe we'll do this tomorrow. Rank the games that are most important to you, 1 through 12.
I think it's Oregon still, because they're the one that's closest to you. Now, Indiana, maybe they're going to if they have another year, they're going to prove that they're right in this thing. But I think I know we still don't totally believe in them.
Crazy. I'm with you.
I still think it's Oregon.
I'm with you, but as we say this, my God, what more does he got to do? It's just unbelievable. And I still don't buy it. I just see that uniform and I just can't believe it, even though he did all the things that he did. And we Googled him and he ended up winning. Time for 3 things. Go ahead, Vic.
I was just going to say, if he does it again this year and has another great year, that's it. It's them, because he's the coach that would lean into it.
Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. All right, time for 3 things on a Tuesday.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, number 1 for me. So last night we finished. I mentioned this. I was watching that. The wife and I were watching the Hulu series Love Story about JFK Jr. and his wife and all of that stuff. And it was the first few episodes were really interesting, in large part just because of my age, and I remember all of this stuff so well, and I remember his fame and all of it and the tragedy that happened at the end. So we finished it last night, and I would just say, and this isn't a spoiler because everybody knows how this story ends, right? They went in the cockpit, and I just was really uncomfortable. It was like a bridge too far. It was just too soon. I don't know what it was, but they shot it from in there. It was just a very weird way to end a series and ended up being wildly depressing. My wife's in tears everywhere. And you knew it was going to be. You knew the tragedy was at the end. The first few episodes I thought were pretty interesting to kind of relive that time in history. But man, the end was a hammer. And I thought a bridge too far.
First thing for me off that rivalry discussion, still wild to think Indiana got a national championship in football before Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's got the chance Thursday to do something that only one team has done. 1967, Michigan State had 4 players drafted in the top 10. Buckeyes have a chance on Thursday.
First thing for me, we talked a little bit yesterday about WrestleMania this past weekend and Brock Lesnar retiring from the WWE. And this is one of the reasons I think we love sports. I saw this tweet from Eagles Fan Central. Brock Lesnar graduated high school, won an NCAA wrestling championship, joined the WWE, signed with the Vikings, joined the UFC, won the UFC heavyweight championship, returned to WWE, ended the Undertaker streak, wrestled another 12 years, and retired, all before the Cowboys made it back to an NFC championship game. You better believe I sent that to Bodie and Ted earlier today.
Notoriously a rough worker, though, right? In the ring? Didn't take care of his guys? Or was that Goldberg?
That was Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg was that?
Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg was that. He was rough. Okay, so, yeah, he did it well, yeah. All right, number 2 for me. I saw this story this morning on Outkick. Some guy off the coast of North Carolina caught a 200-pound bluefin on a jet ski.
Oh, boy.
He was 10 miles off the coast on a jet ski, hauled in the tuna by himself. I thought Chuck Norris passed.
Don't you have to have someone there to see the hole-in-one?
I mean, he brought the thing in.
If he brings the fish to you.
He brought it in.
Here's this fish.
Doesn't mean the rest of the story's true.
But if he comes in on his jet ski with a 200-pound fish, what else do you need to know?
Do you know how many stones it takes to be 10 miles off the coast in a jet ski?
Yes. That's crazy.
I mean, I get like 2 miles off, and that's in Lake Erie, and I'm like, okay, we better head back. Who knows what's going to happen here? There's no predators in Lake Erie. All of a sudden, I got a jet ski in the Atlantic Ocean. 10 miles? No thanks.
I was thinking either stones or substances.
Jeez.
Second thing for me, so that 1967 Michigan State team put 4 players in the top 10 of the NFL draft. At number 1 overall was Bubba Smith, who went to the Baltimore Colts. At number 2, Clint Jones, the running back for the Spartans, went to the Minnesota Vikings. At number 5 overall, George Webster, the linebacker for Michigan State, went to the Houston Oilers. And then with the 8th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings selected wide receiver Gene Washington.
All right. You're going to do a Bubba Smith, then what we have to then say is that his role in the Cinematic Classic Police Academy as Hightower is everything that you've ever wanted and should be.
In terms of sports cameos, there's a hell of a summer. There's a hell of a summer topic. Best sports, best athlete movie cameos.
I mean, he was a star in it. I think he was in all of them.
At least the first
Like, do the
two?
kids even know what Police Academy is?
Probably
Mahoney
not.
and the boys?
I can't remember if I've even seen the third one.
I've seen the first 4.
Bubba Smith was in it.
Yeah, the first 4 I've seen, and then there was one where Wayne Gretzky's wife was in it. I think that's the 5th one. And they lose Steve Guttenberg, and then it all goes off the tracks. I don't know if it was ever on the tracks, to be honest. I have no idea if any of those hold up. I loved him as a kid, though.
We are running out of time here, so I'll get this one in. Rothman and Ice coming up next. They have a loaded show. They're going to talk some Bengals with Ben Baby at 12:30, Tyvis Powell at 1:30, and the General Bob Carpenter at 2.
I guarantee you this, AR's seen the police academies.
Oh, without a doubt.
All of them. I mean, the first 2 I've seen and love.
Yeah, there's no chance that the rest of the people on that show have seen it, but AR has seen Police Academy. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. We're back tomorrow, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our